The original vehicles, oh my gosh, what is with me today? Was the original agency that was behind this car. Now, attempted murder, possible murder. This is a very dangerous suspect that they are chasing right now. Clearly, having Santa Monica PD in the valley trying to pull this vehicle over, that kind of shows you there was some undercover activity going on. Once they tried to light him up, that means the lights and sirens, that pursuit was on. California Highway Patrol got involved because it was on the freeways. This is happening right now in that heavy traffic that we always talk about on the 101 right by Vermont. Now, California Highway Patrol, they are in the lead right now. Sorry about that. And also they have LAPD. They have a helicopter in the air working with them. But as far as Santa Monica PD is still in trail, because this is their suspect that they're saying is a possible homicide suspect inside that vehicle.
So, where are you exactly right now? Where are we overhead here? You mentioned, was it the 405 to the 101, or what freeway are we looking at right now?
Oh, it's all good. We are on the southbound 101, just coming up on Vermont right now. I'm going to push some buttons here, and hopefully we'll have some magic happen for the screen, and you guys can actually see what is going on with us. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And there you go. So you guys can follow along. But this vehicle driving very recklessly. We're just kind of getting in. We're falling into our spot up here in Skybox. But now getting off on Vermont. This is also going to be a very busy area where this vehicle is heading to. Clearly, this person does not know the traffic patterns out here in the California, up in the Hollywood area. That California Highway Patrol vehicle, very, very close behind it. And because this is such a dangerous suspect, I wonder if this is going to make them want to pit this person or use that pit maybe a little bit more aggressively or less aggressively, because this is a homicide suspect. This could be a person that is armed and dangerous. We've talked about this in the past. If they do that pit maneuver and that vehicle spins around, that would basically put the officer in a bad spot if that person behind the wheel is armed. Making a little bit of that U-turn right there. You can see all that traffic. He cannot get back onto the freeway. Well, he can if he gets over to that left lane right there, but definitely some decision making going on right there. The decision really should be pull over, go into custody, and let's have this end peacefully. Right now, though, still kind of working his way through traffic. Hasn't made contact. We haven't seen any paint swap or anything like that so far, but I can tell you a lot of folks out there getting very dangerously close to a dangerous suspect.
Yeah, you can see it. He had a number of close calls on the freeway, and some people were pulling over to make sure that he was getting where he was going. And you have a number of officers behind him. This can be potentially pretty dangerous. He's been going the wrong way, crossing the double lines, high speeds right now. He's going about 83
miles per hour through surface streets.
On surface streets.
And through intersections, not paying attention to any of the lights.
And there's a pedestrian that was just crossing. This is a really busy time of morning.
Definitely. Super busy time in the morning. Vermont, always a busy area. Whoa, that was a close one again.
Oh my
goodness. Like you said, there's a lot of pedestrians out there as well. You're running through these lights. A lot of them are green, but you know what? We have not seen this person slow down at all. Look at those speeds, those numbers. Now, California Highway Patrol, they're going to be a little bit more cautious. They definitely have the LAPD helicopter. They are talking to each other. We can clearly hear that. So they might be able to back down just a little bit, but does that help the public? That is the big question. I always wonder to myself, especially when somebody that's driving against traffic on a busy morning or any time that, when there's a lot of other cars on the roadway, you always have to wonder, what's the call? I would never want to have that weight on my shoulder, because do you continue the pursuit? Do you use the lights and sirens? Does this person slow down? Maybe because there are no lights and sirens behind him. Right now, though, that suspect still driving very aggressively. Wrong side of the road seems to be his lane of choice, as it would be. Continuing up now, we're going to wind up over towards Los Feliz Boulevard, and it is going to just get more crowded as we get closer. And that sharp bend, that's going to be a blind bend coming up as well. Hopefully we don't see any type of collision. Nobody injured, not even that suspect.
Wow, there's no rules with this guy. The only rule is to just get away as quickly as possible, and it doesn't matter how many cars are around him. Well, The shot just froze there for a second.
Clearly a dangerous situation on multiple levels here. The fact that this person is just driving so recklessly in a fast rate of speed. Those look like some students with backpacks or something. They crossing the street there on Vermont, which is obviously really busy there on Vermont Avenue.
Farmers Market.
This is next to all of those merchants there that sometimes camp alongside Vermont Avenue. Not to mention that this is a 187 suspect wanted for murder, so you don't know whether or not the person inside is armed at all. That's another situation that they might have to deal with here too.
Stu, how far back are officers right now?
I'm going to take a peek for you right now, but you can kind of see that another heavy intersection right there. And it definitely seems to be just continuing northbound, which is also interesting, like they have an agenda. There is a California Highway Patrol just going through that last intersection right there. Now, again, we only report facts, and I have to be very clear about this, is we were listening earlier on about who this person is, and they are talking about possibly, this is all unconfirmed, a homicide, and that might have been
oh my goodness, that was so close.
Okay. This might be that homicide that we were talking about by the pier. I believe yesterday we were talking about it in the morning news.
In the parking lot.
We do not have that okay, we're just getting information. Santa Monica PD saying not that same one. Okay. So Santa Monica must be a busy place for possible for attempted murder suspects. At any rate, the vehicle's still very high speed, swerving around a vehicle, just stopped probably to make a turn. Whenever they get in those side lanes right there, this is what I always worry about. You've got pedestrians, you've got kids out there getting ready to go to school, and just because they're on the sidewalk, that doesn't mean that vehicle can't get into some kind of accident and slide. These are all very, very dangerous, and this is all what the California Highway Patrol has to deal with on all of these types of situations. Going to stay a bit wider now because I did not see it pop out the other side, and we've seen this in the past. Well, there goes the California Highway Patrol, and they are getting onto the freeway.
Okay, so back onto the 10 freeway now. Onto the 10 freeway. I was wondering if, as they were going south on Vermont, at some point he'd run into the 10 freeway, whether or not gets back off the surface streets and now onto the 10 freeway. So off the 101, down Vermont, now onto the 10, and the driver somewhere in that mix over there.
Yeah, have we lost sight?
Definitely.
Oh, there's
lost sight. Sorry about that, guys and gals, but we will definitely find it, especially if he's on the 10. There he goes. Is that him? Yeah, that's got to be him. Yeah, there we go again. So now on the 10, another freeway, very, very busy out there.
Yeah, and climbing the 90s
it is
as
just
far
going
as
to get
speeds,
more
going
busy
real
as
fast.
Yep.
So now we're heading closer
really starting to pick up those speeds indeed.
Starting to get into the downtown area as it goes eastbound.
Definitely eastbound on the 10 freeway, and we're getting into that area where we're getting close to the East LA interchange. When we get over there, definitely going to have a lot of choices. Maybe you got them all actually right there. It's the East LA interchange. But again, look at all that traffic. The maneuver's getting a little bit more desperate, and you also have to think that driver possibly got a lot of adrenaline right now, but that adrenaline will wear off, and you do start to get a little bit fatigued, and those are all things that they train when they talk about these pursuits. Why I bring that all up, errors in decisions, maybe getting a little too close to a vehicle, and at those speeds, even in that big SUV, we chose to get off the freeway, so we're going to be in the downtown area right now, but even in those, with that SUV, a slight bump at 80, 90 miles an hour could create a catastrophic event for that vehicle. Back onto the freeway, so I don't know, does he know where he's going, or is he just grabbing every chance he can get just to make a difference? But I can tell you, the helicopter above, not just us, that's going to be LAPD. They are definitely making the calls and keeping an eye on this vehicle.
Well, the driver is definitely not stopping here, seemingly regardless of whether or not it's being pursued by these black and whites. And we've seen these speeds here now on the freeway. He only seems to be increasing his speed. We saw speeds upwards of 110 miles per hour. This person's really stepping on the gas here and weaving through cars as it goes here on the eastbound 10, continuing to go in the eastbound direction.
Well, Boy, and in situations like this, you really hope that everybody else is doing what they need to do and just driving defensively and paying attention to this guy, because he's coming up on them pretty quickly and has no problem weaving in and out of traffic and cutting it really close with some of these cars as he just did with that one.
Very close. A lot of close calls. No paint swaps yet, which is a plus for everybody involved. A lot of folks down there probably have no clue. Probably just going to see this guy just whipping by them and just thinking, hey, it's just another SUV, black SUV in Los Angeles traffic. California Highway Patrol, they are still nearby. Lights and sirens. The helicopter, they have been basically rendered with the task to keep an eye on them, but right now still very high speeds, very close calls indeed. And of course, Santa Monica PD, they want to talk to this person. They don't just want to talk to this person, they want to put cuffs on this person. And after seeing all this kind of driving, I kind of agree with them, even if there is other reasons involved. So many close calls this morning, and again, a lot of innocent people just going to work. You don't want to see anybody get hurt down there, but take a look at some of that traffic. That probably was not the right choice for the freeways right now. I'm going to get a little bit wider. Emergency lane isn't really available this time because of that freeway that he chose. California Highway Patrol, look at that. Slow and steady wins the race. Even with all those crazy high speeds, the California Highway Patrol back right behind that vehicle. I'm sure those reds and blues are flashing in that rear view mirror, and those sirens at least starting to warn some of the folks around this vehicle that something is going on. So at least they're perking up, their ears are perking up, and they're keeping a better eye on what's going on. Much slower driving, which is maybe this driver's starting to make some decisions here on where he can go. But the traffic really thick. A lot of these people down there just on their way to do the morning whatever, and now they have to deal with this pursuit. It's probably a lot of dangerous close calls. We've been watching that. Look at that car hitting the brakes. But the California Highway Patrol, they're on him. They are right on his bumper.
Super busy part of the 10 freeway there.
We're kind of locked in here.
We get to the East LA, Boyle Heights area, passing Cesar Chavez Avenue, into that interchange where, as Stu was saying, he's got to make some decisions here to get on the 5, stay on the 10, weaving in and out of cars there. And at some point looked like he was boxed in, but now looks like he's staying on the 10. Stu?
Yep, it's definitely staying on the 10. Looks like we're going to be solid transition right there. So this one, again, we just looked at it through San Gabriel. Eastbound 10, pretty wide open. He's going to be able to get some of those higher speeds out there. Not that that's a good thing at all. There's a lot of other folks, and like I said, this guy just barreling through traffic, high speeds, no regard for anybody. Somebody might just be making a lane change. You look in your mirror, you might see that car way back there, but who's thinking this guy's going 100 miles an hour? So you just make your lane change, that could be catastrophic. This vehicle right now into the triple digits in the morning traffic, heading through the Alhambra area. And again, California Highway Patrol tasked to keep the public safe. This guy, the driver of that vehicle, also safe. I've said that in the past. Law enforcement, their plan is to keep everybody safe and to do their job. In this case, they want to take that person into custody without any kind of incident or injury. But take a look at that, wide open, starting to move really well because he has nothing around him. 110, I'm not that good with the Range Rover, but that actually might be a limiter that's keeping him just probably 120 is going to max out on that car. It probably will not let him go any faster. But right now, we're in those solid in the triple digits. At least we're seeing some brakes. And that high swerve, that stuff always scares me.
Well, yeah,
again, just continues on. This is a wanted suspect.
When you consider, Stu, like how heavy a Range Rover is and how especially top heavy a Range Rover is, he really can't afford to make many errors here, and neither can anybody else.
Nobody else around him, that's for sure, because those people are completely innocent about what's going on. Range Rover, I'm not going to do a commercial for them, but I can tell you there's a lot of tech in those vehicles, and they can really perform well. But, the problem is the driver is the one that creates everything that goes on in that car. So if he does something or there's a reaction where it is too steep or too quick, that vehicle is going to react just like anything else. The safety protocols will kick in, but that car will roll like you said. Right now, slowing down, not even slowing down. We're still in triple digits in that carpool lane, moving along at a good clip. I'm going to get a little wider to see if the California Highway Patrol, yep, there they are. Wow. There's two of them right there. I'm going to take that chance, show you where they are. They've got a car in between them, which is interesting in itself, but that vehicle still moving along. LAPD helicopter above giving information to the officers on the ground just in case they lose sight of them. And of course, other agencies in the area getting that information at that same moment just in case this guy gets off the freeway, so that wherever we might be, if it's the sheriff's area, El Monte, whatever city we might be in, those officers will know about this and be ready to assist if need be.
All right, this is now in the southwest San Gabriel Valley near the Alhambra area on the 10 freeway, eastbound traffic there. This driver continues to travel at a very high rate of speed. Look at that, 117 miles per hour. If you're just joining us right now, this is a pursuit that started about 7:15 this morning in the San Fernando Valley. It was Santa Monica Police that was investigating what we believe to be a suspect in a murder investigation. And this person in this black Range Rover got in this vehicle, and then there was a pursuit. The pursuit was on the 405, the 101, dumped onto surface streets near the downtown area, through Vermont and then Koreatown, then dumping onto the 10 freeway, eastbound lanes, and ever since this suspect has been on the 10 freeway, the eastbound lanes continue to drive and go in that eastbound direction, now passing the Alhambra area into Rosemead.
We've seen him pull some pretty dangerous maneuvers as well, crossing lanes, going through red lights, now of course driving 100+ miles an hour on the freeway, nearly missing vehicles. I have to say, CHP's
another sharp turn, sharp,
pretty tremendous job at keeping up with him. I can't imagine the adrenaline is pumping right now.
So he dumped out of the freeway here.
The driver of the officers just got off the freeway, but those speeds really not slowing down much. We're about half right now, but we're on surface streets. Take a look at that. Really starting to move along. San Gabriel Valley is where we are, but you can see the officers, they have to follow a little bit more rules, and of course they are trained to drive at high speeds. I venture to say the driver behind that Range Rover, not trained at this at all. He seems to know how to work that gas pedal. That's the only thing I can really say. Against traffic one more time, back in that center lane, and just, that's his personal lane, it seems to be. I just don't want to see anybody get
90
into
miles an hour on surface streets right now. Look at this.
Almost, look at that, almost getting into 100 every now and then. But I can tell you, those speeds way too fast for any surface street. California Highway Patrol, they are still behind them, and they're going to stay behind them. But of course, in this case, we have other people that are keeping an eye on like in the area. But look at that, California Highway Patrol, they have basically upped the ante. Lights and sirens right behind that vehicle, basically alerting the public.
Okay, this is on San Gabriel Boulevard. The driver going 80+ miles per hour in the southbound direction off the 10 freeway. Very shortly, this driver will start to try to figure out some decisions here, whether or not they're going to stay on San Gabriel Boulevard and head on to the 60 freeway, because that is also coming up very quickly there too. But we see so many different vehicles. Oh my goodness, through those intersections.
Did he hit? Yeah.
Yes, he definitely made contact. California Highway Patrol taking advantage of that situation. Up against it. Look at these officers. Weapons out. Doors are popping open. Definitely a passenger going on in there as well. Up close and personal. Come on out there, sir. Let's take a look at you. There we go.
That's it.
Down to the ground you go. It is the driver of the vehicle. That is not the passenger. They're doing that pummel technique, or they basically just get more officers on top of him to keep that suspect subdued, and also his hands in place so he does not reach for anything when he's on the ground. Boy, that was quick and efficient. I was saying, I love California Highway Patrol. These guys work so fast and efficiently, especially they saw that opening and they took advantage of it immediately. And teamwork, that was amazing. So right now you got the suspect suspect on the ground. Thank goodness no injuries to anybody involved. There was something over there at that intersection. Look how far away that was. But I think it was just he swerved to avoid it, lost control for a little bit, went up those rocks on that center lane. Montebello, got to give them props for having them there. That probably helped bring that vehicle to a stop.
Wow.
But California Highway Patrol, they're the ones that stopped it. Suspect.
Tremendous work by the California Highway Patrol there, keeping up with him, going 100+ miles an hour, making sure the public was safe as well, and on those surface streets. Lights and sirens going, making sure that everybody in that area knew what was going on, and then that takedown was so fast and efficient.
I was a little nervous at that point, Stu, because in situations like this, especially when you know that this is a 187 suspect, a potential suspect in a murder investigation, and just opening the door, not knowing if this person was armed, to storm into the vehicle like that, that was certainly quite a risk that they took there, just opening the door and pulling someone out. But I would think that they had known already that maybe he wasn't armed, or they may have had some other information about him. But it was I was a little nervous at that point.
I think that the quick acting for sure. And talking about quick acting, got to give a shout out to our assignment desk. Melissa, I'm not sure if Freddie was involved as well, but the assignment desk for sure. Melissa gave me the information. Santa Monica PD did get back to us, said he is not involved in that murder that we talked about at the pier, but he was involved in a road rage incident where he definitely had a weapon at that time. That's the reason why they were calling him a possible 187 suspect. But for sure, California Highway Patrol, fast acting, fast thinking, and boy, they just made that move, took that guy down. Nobody's been hurt. That suspect in custody, and of course, what a job indeed. And now Santa Monica PD, they can talk to this guy about that road rage incident.
All coming to an end here in the Montebello area. This is actually not too far from the 60 freeway. If you know the 60 freeway, it's near the shops of Montebello there, very close to the freeway. But this is a suspect wanted in some sort of a murder investigation. Started in the San Fernando Valley, poured on to the 101, the 405, onto surface streets there near the downtown area, near Koreatown, onto the 10 freeway, onto the 10 eastbound lanes, and then coming to a stop here as the driver lost control on San Gabriel Boulevard and jumped a median, and CHP officers quickly moved in. But quite a dangerous pursuit that took place for over a half hour.
And a few near misses there, but luckily nobody was hurt in this pursuit. Coming to an end right there.
All right, we'll continue to watch the situation here, but this is a code 4. They do have the suspect in custody. We'll have more Good Day Light after the break.
All right, good morning. Welcome to Good Day LA at 8 o'clock. Busy morning here in Southern California for sure. Yeah. I'm Jen Lammers.
Lots of news to cover here. I'm Bob DeCastro. Let's get to Maria with a check on the forecast. Lots to cover in that department. Good morning.
Yes, we do. Actually, with the heat, the humidity, as well as some chances for some storms. Right now, most of that activity on the radar is pulling off to our east, but we're definitely picking up that subtropical moisture, and we're seeing some of that rain moving northward into the Bay Area, the Central Coast and Northern California. But temperatures are definitely going to stay pretty hot this afternoon. Right now, it's actually quite warm already. 73 in Santa Cruz, Woodland Hills, and Burbank. Same for Ontario. 75 in San Bernardino. 91 in Palm Springs to that 67 in Big Bear, and up into the mountains under that heat alert as well, with temperatures getting up to near 80 degrees. 98 in the high desert to 108 in Palm Springs today. Factor in a little bit of that humidity, and you know it's going to feel hotter than that. 100 in the valleys and the Inland Empire, 88 for downtown LA, or even hotter. Like yesterday was 91, 77 along the coast. We do have some beach hazards. I'll go over all the weather advisories in just a few moments. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you two.
All right, Maria, thank you very much. Our top story this morning, singer David due in court for the start of his preliminary hearing. The artist is accused of murdering 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez and dismembering her body.
Mario Ramirez is live in downtown LA with more on what we can expect in the courtroom this morning. Lots of interest in this case. Big day in court, Mario.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about several delays here with this preliminary hearing. The defense initially had requested a hearing as quickly as possible, but then asked the judge for more time to review the massive amount of evidence, newly collected evidence in this case. And we're expecting to learn more about what that evidence might entail as this preliminary hearing gets underway in less than 2 hours. Now, take a look. You can see the 21-year-old singer appearing in court for his initial arraignment. This was back in April after his arrest. David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, pleaded not guilty to charges including first-degree murder, sexual abuse of a child, and unlawful mutilation of human remains in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Prosecutors here allege David and Celeste began a sexual relationship back in 2023 when he was 18 and she was just 13, and claims she threatened to expose the relationship if he wouldn't make it exclusive with her. Investigators say Celeste was last seen alive after an Uber took her to Burke's Hollywood Hills home in April of 2025, and they allege she was stabbed to death and that her remains were later found inside the body bags in front of the trunk of the singer's Tesla months later. And court documents also say prosecutors plan to present surveillance video, text messages, and evidence they say links Burke to items purchased after the alleged killing, including chainsaws, body bags, and other supplies. Meanwhile, interest in this case we saw was evident early on as people began arriving before sunrise here for a lottery that determined who would get one of just 10 seats available to the public inside the courtroom.
I'm here to see what's going on. I've been here the last 4 hearings. I've been covering it on TikTok as well. I just want to see what's going on. I'm from Hollywood, you know, so I don't really want to see he says, she says, or the opinions of other people. I want to see what's going on in my home myself, so that's why I'm here. And justice for Celeste.
Hoping to get a seat inside the courtroom?
I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I think I will, you know, I think I will. I got here pretty early, so.
Prosecutors say they have messages between David and Celeste documenting their alleged relationship, along with other digital evidence they believe supports their case. Burke, meanwhile, has been held without bail since his arrest in April, and his attorneys maintain his innocence, saying the evidence will show he did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez or cause her death. And prosecutors here have not yet decided whether they'll seek the death penalty. Now, that preliminary hearing set to get underway at 9:30 this morning, and as it stands right now, it's scheduled here at the Criminal Courts Building for the next 3 days. For now, we'll send it back to you.
So he is expected to appear in court today, and there was some request, Mario, from what we understand, is that he requested to not be in handcuffs during his appearance?
Yeah, that's right, and we're waiting to learn more about exactly why that is, but we know he is expected to be in court. They're not allowing cameras inside the courtroom, and there are only 10 seats available to the public. So we have Mona Edwards, our sketch artist, inside the courtroom. We're expecting to get new details as soon as this starts. Christina Gonzalez as well will be inside as this gets underway here this morning.
You just talked to that influencer that showed up early. Are you seeing a lot of people showing up wanting those seats that are up for lottery this morning?
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of interest this morning. I talked to a few independent journalists and content creators here hoping to get a seat. They arrived here early on, and they're inside right now. If they didn't get a seat, I'm sure they're outside in the hallway. But I spoke to one YouTuber who goes by the name Sloan. He's got over 1 million subscribers on his YouTube channel alone, and he's known for covering everything pop culture, including high-profile cases like this. And it's really not a surprise because I remember covering this from the very start. We were at that Hollywood tow yard where the remains were found, and we started to see live streamers, TikTokers coming out and trying to get any part of the story they could after they found out that the singer had been connected to this case. So not surprising at all here this morning.
This was sort of a case born out of that world, right? Social media. I know that David was very popular on TikTok. He was also popular on the video game Fortnite. Have you seen any of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family members show up yet?
We haven't. We've seen supporters here who are calling for justice for Celeste, but we haven't seen or heard from any family members. I know through their attorney in the past, they've released a joint statement saying that they will no longer be providing statements, and that's in part due to the gruesome details that have been emerging from this case every step of the way. So understandable, but no, we haven't seen or heard from any family members.
Maybe it's a little early at this point, but we shall see. I know you're going to be stationed right there, and as you said, our Christina Gonzalez, who's also been following this case very closely, will provide us a little bit more detail of what happens inside the courtroom today. All right, Mario, thank you. We want to let you know that coming up in about 10 minutes, we're going to speak to legendary defense attorney Mark Garagos.
We'll get his take on how David's team might approach this case. Meantime, this to talk about: one person was killed in a crash involving a wrong-way driver on the 405 freeway in Hawthorne this morning. Pretty nasty crash. The wrong-way driver was in a black sedan going southbound in the northbound lanes about 80 miles per hour, just around 12:50 this morning. The collision involved several cars just south of Rosecrans. One of the cars caught fire, prompting a Good Samaritan to pull over and grab a jug of water that was in his car to help douse those flames.
I pulled over, I seen the car on fire, and I put it out. And then I seen a person in there. We checked their pulse and dead on impact. And then we seen another guy in there, which I believe is her brother, and he got out.
The name of the person killed has not been released just yet. CHP issued a SIG alert shutting down all northbound lanes for about an hour before opening a couple of lanes. The SIG alert was canceled at around 5:20 this morning.
Work crews are preparing to backfill that massive sinkhole in West Hollywood. A 36-inch water main broke last week, as we said on Sunset, causing extensive flooding and damage. The LADWP says all leaks around the ruptured line have been patched and critical repairs to the transmission line have been completed. The focus now is on the sinkhole itself, and today crews are filling concrete, using truckloads of concrete to fill that sinkhole that has shut down Sunset. Next up, we'll be restoring the asphalt. In the meantime, testing the water quality in the ruptured pipeline begins.
Later on this morning, the new head of LAUSD will lay out his vision for the upcoming school year. Superintendent Andres Chait is set to deliver his first opening of the school's address at Garfield High School. Chait is a longtime district leader and former teacher himself. He was appointed to the job last month after former Superintendent Alberto Carvalho resigned following an FBI probe. Chait is scheduled to begin his remarks at 9 o'clock, and we will bring that to you live.
All right. Also today in Altadena, look at this, another family taking a step towards coming home. The San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity will break ground on its 15th rebuilt home in the Eaton Fire Zone. The project will kick off at 4:30 this afternoon on McNally Avenue. It will give 2 fire survivors and their family a new home, debt-free.
A federal judge has ordered a pause on the Paramount-Warner Brothers Discovery merger. The $81 billion effort will be blocked for at least 2 weeks, giving states challenging the deal time to see their case play out. A dozen states are looking to stop the takeover, claiming it would hurt competition. Paramount is not commenting on the ruling.
Entertainment industry leaders will gather today to discuss LA's growing runaway production crisis. Local political candidates and working crew members are set to take part in a town hall in Hollywood tonight. The goal is to come up with concrete ideas to keep film and TV production here in Southern California. Event organizers say local bureaucracy and strict city permitting have turned parts of LA into some of the hardest places to shoot in the country. Tonight's event has been dubbed the Film Here, Work Here Town Hall. Local candidates, as we said, producers, directors, writers, all taking part in this discussion. It takes place at 6 p.m. at The Lot on Formosa in Hollywood.
8:10, let's get back over to Stu now for a check on traffic.
Hey, good morning, everybody. A little bit calmer now, that's for sure. Skyvox traffic brought to us by My Home Sold. Let's take a look at that 101. That's where we are. Made our way back to the beautiful city of Encino. Now, the headlights are going to be the southbound lanes on the 101 coming up to the 405. Very slow and go this morning. Indeed, that whole valley area, we flew it from the Hollywood area. It is going to be slow, like molasses out here. Don't know what the problem is. A lot of folks on the road. Give yourself extra time on the 101 through the valley. Other traffic hotspots, we got them. We're going to share those right now.
Hi, I'm Adrian with My Home Sold, and we want to buy your house. We buy any house in any condition. No commissions, no closing costs, and no repairs. Go to myhomesold.com for a free same-day cash offer. That's myhomesold.com.
I'm meteorologist Maria Quilban. Want to tell you about the tropical outlook here. We do have several storms we're watching. It is hurricane season. We have Tropical Storm Bertha in the Gulf. It is packing winds of about 60 miles an hour now, so it's strengthening in those warm waters and eventually making landfall or crossing over Louisiana into parts of Texas, bringing a lot of rain. We're also focusing on Hurricane Fausto, generating some swells for us here in SoCal, along with Elita, which is falling apart, actually just a post-tropical system there. But Fausto could be continuing its trek northwestward and headed very close to the Hawaiian Islands by this upcoming weekend, so we'll watch that very closely. In the meantime, we do have the heat that is with us. High pressure is in control of our weather. That clockwise flow of air around that area of high pressure pulling up that humidity as well as some instability, so chances for showers mainly over the mountains and deserts, and then depending on the position of that high pressure system could move a little closer to us, bring us more opportunities for rain, it looks like, as we get to midweek. Otherwise, prepare for this next heat wave here. Limit your outdoor activities. I want you to stay heat safe. These temperatures are going to stay well above average through the extended outlook, and I know some of you may want to go to the beach to try to beat the heat inland. We do have some dangerous rip currents in there as we got the high surf coming in about 4 to 7 feet, especially for those south-facing beaches. Heat advisories are in effect for a widespread area here, covered in orange across SoCal, and then we've got extreme heat watches in effect for temperatures really hot into the triple digits the farther inland you go. 83 today in Inglewood, 110 in Indio. Please take numerous water breaks if you have to be out and about under these weather conditions. These triple digits extending all the way through parts of the Central Valley, Northern California into Sacramento with 100 degrees there later this afternoon. Thousand Oaks, we do have some mostly sunny skies. Temperatures getting to the mid-80s later this afternoon around lunch hour at noon, and then Riverside getting to around 92 at 2 p.m. later today. All right, I'll show you that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you too.
Maria, thank you. So all morning long, we've been talking about the high-profile murder case involving 21-year-old singer David Burke. He's pleaded not guilty in the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Yeah, the preliminary hearing gets underway shortly, 9:30 this morning. Joining us to weigh in on this case, legendary defense attorney Mark Garagos. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. So today's hearing is all about evidence. What are we going to be learning today?
Well, normally you would say a preliminary hearing is basically just a perfunctory finding of probable cause. I think because of the attention of this case, we're going to learn a lot more of what they have. I think specifically the defense and I think the public want to know exactly what the medical examiner came up with. As you probably know, it's almost unprecedented in a case where you have the LAPD and the medical examiner basically at odds, where there's been public pronouncements. I would imagine that you will find out quite a bit today and potentially tomorrow as to what the medical examiner originally found, subsequently found, and how they got to calling this, and how the LAPD got to the point where they got the search warrants and the arrest warrants.
So in this situation, Mark, it's all up to this judge to decide whether or not this moves on to a trial. How high is this bar? Because we already know a lot of the evidence that's out there. There's phone records, there's text messages, there's surveillance video. You talk about some of the forensic evidence that they already have. How high of a bar is set here for the judge to make this decision whether or not to move this on to a trial?
I don't want to be a smart aleck, but I normally say that probable cause at a preliminary hearing is my client breathing. But I will have you know that in the last 2 weeks in a preliminary hearing on that very same floor in that building, a judge in a murder case dismissed 2 of the co-defendants on a case we have. So it is a bar where you can't put on absolutely nothing, but you have to, technically, the legal standard is there enough evidence to show a crime was committed? Clearly, that's going to be one of the so-called battlefields. And then the second one, is there enough that there's a strong suspicion, basically, that David is the one who committed that crime?
Yeah, there's as you mentioned, there's forensic evidence, there's circumstantial evidence, phone records, Uber records, but we still don't know exactly what happened inside that home. Is that a weakness now for the prosecution?
I think it is. And if you look at originally what was stated and where LAPD was coming out and saying, we don't even know that there was a crime committed. And now you've got a very detailed summary, at least by the prosecution, as to what they think happened. How you got from there to here is what I think everybody is focused on. I think one of the reasons there's so much interest in this case is because nobody clearly knows or understands what did happen. And I think there are a lot of kind of leaps of faith, is my guess, as to what the evidence is. I don't know that they're going to be able to say that David committed this act and we know that. I don't know that they have a percipient witness, meaning somebody who actually watched it happen. I mean, there's been a number of people brought into the grand jury, whether or not, and that's under a seal, so I don't know, and the public doesn't know. Do we have somebody who's going to say, yes, I was there, this is what happened? Arguably, the defense is going to take the position, they've carefully crafted their statements, that the evidence is, from the defense standpoint, is going to be, we don't even know that he had anything to do with the way or manner in which she died, or that he was the cause of that death. That leaves open all kinds of possibilities.
So that's the defense's strategy, in your opinion, is there's all this evidence, but connecting all the dots, does it all lead to David?
Right. If there's, for instance, I could give you an example. It's not based on anything yet. We can revisit later. But if the defense is that the cause of death was an overdose or a drug or toxicology supports that, and that there is no way to show that there was any kind of a criminal means or method to the death in the first place, and that any kind of, there is some gruesome details, at least in the ME's report, about cutting and things of that nature. We don't know as of right now how they determined whether that was the cause or whether that was post-mortem.
Well, the medical examiners say that she was stabbed several times whenever she walked inside the home.
Yeah, and that's going to be, I think, a battle right there. I think you're going to see cross-examination as to, did that happen before or after death?
Yeah,
right.
And then there were the receipts, right, of buying a pool and buying a
and then the fragments of that pool being found in her body.
Well, there was a case, I don't know if you remember, there was a case in Texas years ago involving Robert Durst. Yeah. And Robert Durst was charged with murder. Robert Durst was acquitted because his defense was that basically the death was caused by self-defense, and all of the gruesome cutting and dismembering took place afterwards. So God only knows if that's what the evidence would show here, that she died, and that all of the, because as you aptly noted, I mean, those are hard facts to deal with when you've got saws and you've got cleanup, purported cleanup area, things of that. But if all of that was to dispose of the body, I know that's a kind of a gruesome thought, but that still does not make it a murder if that is the case.
Right, there is a big difference there. So today's going to feel more like a mini trial, right? Is it? David was arrested, what, 3 months ago. Is it unusual for a preliminary hearing to start so soon? And I do know that it's been delayed several times.
You have a right to a speedy preliminary hearing. Normally, in a case like this, 3 months, 6 months, sometimes as long as a year is standard. It's actually more surprising in this case, to me at least, to have seen the amount of time that elapsed between the discovery of her remains and an arrest and a prosecution. That was the more, if you're talking timelines, that's the more significant abnormality on a timeline.
It is just a preliminary, I don't want to say just, it is the preliminary hearing, but obviously if this goes to trial, it's going to be a fascinating case with all of the details that we know. And we appreciate all of your insight, Mark. It's always great to have you.
Thank you.
Always great to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Take a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Summer brings a lot of fun things with it, including the OC Fair. Your adventure awaits at the OC Fair, happening now through August 16th. Experience the thrills of summer with live music and entertainment, furry animal friends, carnival rides, exciting games, endless shopping, and much more. Plus, get there early and enjoy $5 Taste of Fair foods offered daily until 5 p.m. And there's also the Toyota Summer Concert Series lined up at the Pacific Amphitheater. And guess what? Good Delay has got your chance to win 8 tickets and 24 ride passes to the OC Fair. Just go to foxla.com/contest or link through the QR code right there on the screen. Enter for a chance to win. Good luck. Back to you.
Thank you. Look at that hair. Remember that hair? That's Vans Warped Tour performer the Academy is. And this week, their influence isn't stopping at the stage.
A Long Beach coffee shop is serving up the Academy is inspired drink as a part of a citywide partnership. It's helping local restaurants share the spotlight as Warped Tour takes over the city this weekend.
Pretty exciting. Coco McAvoy is live at the Recreational Coffee with an $8 collab that's sure to make a mess this morning.
Hey there, there's a lot of excitement for Vans Warped Tour returning to Long Beach this weekend. They have a special collaboration with Long Beach Food Scene Week, and that's like a power duo, by the way. That means that several restaurants are going to have exclusive menu items, including recreational coffee. Here's the amazing owner, Brooklyn. So tell us about recreational coffee and this drink that looks delicious.
Thank you. So recreational coffee has been around for almost 11 years now. Was owned by Bobby Hernandez. I took over with my partner Dan and a couple of other owners. We love the community, and I really just wanted to keep the space just really community forward and just a safe place for people. So I also love Warped Tour, so I was very, very excited when Brian reached out to me and asked if we wanted to do a drink, and I got the Academy Is, who is one of my favorite pop punk bands. So I wanted to do a really delicious caffeinated drink for the day so everybody can get going. So we have an iced coffee with a dark cherry compote, a lemon cherry syrup, iced coffee, and then you get to drop your shot of espresso, and that kind of creates the big mess. And then it's topped with our dark cherry compote and some freeze-dried strawberries on top with the cherry vanilla cold foam.
Ooh, I love it. It is one of the most beautiful drinks I have ever seen, so it's definitely going to be popular. Oh, yeah. Now we bring in Brian and Kevin. And Brian, you're a well-known food writer. Tell us all about Long Beach Food Scene Week.
So I run a really big restaurant week here in Long Beach. We have over 100 restaurants participating this year, but it's always been less about discounts and more about what I say culinary flexing. With Vans, the reason why the partnership works so well is because they come with an accessibility point. They have a mission to make things more affordable. So we decided to partner restaurants with Vans and do a dish $15 or under everywhere you visit for this collaboration will be at that price point. And it's just kind of the perfect segue into my restaurant week. It's just a beautiful collaboration.
It really is a beautiful collaboration, and we're so excited to have the founder of Vans Warped Tour here. Kevin, tell us about this collaboration and what it means for Vans Warped Tour.
Well, it's so fun to come back to Long Beach, where I got my start working in a punk rock club right around the corner. To be embraced by the community for us is so important, and to find people that want to collaborate, because we're trying to embrace the cities more than just doing a festival this weekend. We are over at the Art Theater doing a film festival. We've got 21 restaurants involved in this project. And, this weekend we'll be bringing a large audience down here to Long Beach for about 150 bands.
That's incredible, and people love Vans Warped Tour, and for really good reason. Talk about how people can still be part of it if tickets are still available.
Yes, we went to a single-day ticket now, so you can even come Saturday or Sunday. We know some people can only get time off for a one-day festival, or we have two-day passes available. But we also encourage people to bring 3 cans of food and donate them to the local food bank. That's a big part of our thing, and we'll leave all the food we collect into the community to help people in need in the city.
Love that. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, Brian. And Brooklyn as well. Okay, so they showed a picture earlier of you with the Academy Is. You got to tell us the history of it.
Okay, so the first time I went to Warped Tour, it was either 2007 or 2008. I actually missed the Academy as a set. I had just seen Cobra Starship, and I was like, oh, I'm tired. I totally missed it, which was one of the biggest regrets of my life. So I got to see William Beckett on one of his solo tours, and I got a photo with him. He was so sweet. So I'm just like, when I got this band in particular, I was like, oh my God, like I have to do something delicious. I have to do something perfect. So I really hope that everyone enjoys the drink.
Love it. Thank you, Brooklyn. You definitely accomplished that. That's so cool. Come support Recreational Coffee, of course, for this week, but also any week. It's a really cool place. I've had a great time hanging out here with Brooklyn and Brian and Kevin, and also support Vans Warped Tour. Lots of great bands, over 150 bands that will be performing here in Long Beach. I'll send it back to you.
What a collab. I love that.
Loving
And the drink
the vibe.
looks
Loving the vibes.
spectacular.
What a collab,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
It's a big, big mess, but in a good way.
Good vibes only. Thank you, Coco.
Thank you.
All right, so Mega Millions jackpot worth $707 million is up for grabs tonight. It's the largest so far this year and the 10th biggest of all time. If you take the cash option, you'll have to live with a payout of $307 million. Oh, shucks. The drawing is at 8 o'clock. Good luck if you're playing. We'll be right back.
Busy Tuesday morning.
Sure is.
Has been.
There's a lot going on.
Ooh, quick shout out to Shay from Nordstrom. I met her over the weekend. She watches the show every day. Just giving her some love.
Shay?
Can we say which Nordstrom?
The Century City.
Oh, I love that one.
Westfield Century City.
I go to that one all the time.
Is she a stylist?
She was in the perfume section.
Oh.
Fragrance.
In the fragrance.
Yeah. Lovely woman. I was there, you know, shopping for wedding dresses.
Oh, I love that, by the way. That's coming up soon. So maybe we can get her one of those food processors, Bobby. Cuts things like in an instant.
A chopper. That would be a great wedding gift.
Chopper. For
like a slap chop. Isn't that what you call it? Or is that's the infomercial?
Oh, okay.
The slap chop.
Our soon-to-be Mrs. Here on this.
Yeah.
By the way, as we're giving shout-outs, I was unable to do my regular TV shout-outs at the regular time. So if you were on the lookout for it today, please stay tuned tomorrow because I have some good ones. So we'll postpone until tomorrow. We did have some breaking news in that wild pursuit.
I know.
With CHP. So, okay, let's talk about this. The headlines, there's a lot to talk about in the weather, too, with the heat and another heat wave that is developing out there. Heat wave, meaning 2 or more days of well above average temperatures and very warm nights as well, giving way to some heat alerts, heat advisories, and really all this heat putting stress on our bodies. If you're not used to this kind of heat, you really do want to take the necessary precautions. You want to take numerous water breaks if you have to work under these weather conditions. The heat danger will peak by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it will continue, though, in terms of those high temperatures through the weekend and into early next week. We have some humidity to add to the mix, along with a chance for some showers, mountains and deserts primarily, but wouldn't be surprised if some of that spills over as we get into the weekend. It has been a hot month so far, with the exception of 3 days, slightly below the average, mind you, still pretty warm. We have had well above average high temperatures, including yesterday's 91. Today will likely be another red box as we anticipate a high of 88 degrees for downtown. Sunset time is at 8:02. And just a quick look at our other high temperatures: 108 in Palm Springs, 96 in San Bernardino, 90 in Burbank, 100 in Woodland Hills, to that 78 in Santa Monica. All right, time now to check in on traffic. You've got Samada with a look at our commute on this Tuesday. Hey, Samada.
Good morning, Marie. Good morning, everyone. Things are heating up on the roads, and we're going to take you out to this incident. It's going to be very slow and go. We're talking about now all lanes being held up due to this collision. 2 vehicles collided here eastbound side the 10 at Wilmington Avenue, and you can see here a solid red line, an indication of the lanes being held. We have emergency crews from the LA County Fire Department headed to the scene there. We'll have more updates as they become available. We also earlier had a 5-vehicle collision. This is going to be the South 55 right there, the 73 in the Costa Mesa area. Some good news, the incident, at least most vehicles are off to the right shoulder, but there's enough activity to delay you along that 405, the 55, and the 73 stretch. 40 minutes, your drive leaving downtown to get to Santa Monica. It's going to be a popular spot, northbound 110 from 405, a little over half an hour, and your drive, a live Caltrans camera look, the 10, the 110, slow along that northbound stretch, which is expected at this hour. Back to you, two.
Thank you. A mom just welcomed a once-in-a-lifetime surprise. An Australian couple has welcomed naturally conceived identical quadruplet girls.
Whoa.
A pregnancy, doctors say, happens in about 1 in 15 million cases. The babies were delivered prematurely at just over 28 weeks, but are reportedly doing well in the NICU. One of the 4 sisters was even named after the doctor who helped deliver them.
You're going to have to put name tags on those babies.
Ooh,
4 girls?
My parents, when we were babies, I'm a twin, as you know, they would mix us up.
All the time?
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever,
How do I know my name's actually my name and not my brother's name?
Oh, my
No.
God. Would you and your brother try to use that to your advantage growing up?
Our teacher, I remember in 1st grade, we had separate teachers, and his teacher switched us just to play a prank on the other teacher.
Was there any, so now, I haven't seen your brother. I haven't seen your identical brother.
No, we don't look as much alike. You know,
what's the biggest difference, would you say?
I don't know. If he walked in here, you'd be like, oh yeah, you're twins.
Can he grow facial hair?
No.
Same DNA.
Same DNA, right?
Same Filipino.
Wow.
When I first met your brother, I walked into your house and I said, I had Gus, I remember, and I said, oh, hi, so sorry we're late, blah, 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 blah. And I went, oh, wait a minute. Is that Bob? He looks different. He looks different.
Right. Close enough.
Close enough, though.
Yeah, close enough.
Ooh. All right. Well, before you buy another pillow or maybe a sleep supplement, scientists say you might want to try a completely free remedy. Good old-fashioned sunshine.
I love this.
That's right. Get out there, enjoy some vitamin D. A new study shows a direct link between brighter daytime lights and deeper, healthier sleep at night. Researchers in the UK found that soaking up the morning sun helps regulate your body's internal clock. Sleep psychologists not involved in the study say sunlight hits the eye and tells the brain it's time to be alert, which ultimately triggers sleepiness later on that evening. The big takeaway from all this is keep your wake-up time consistent and try to get outside first thing in the morning, unless you're like us and you don't see the sunshine until around noontime.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. We need windows in here, I've always said. For some shoppers, the best kind of retail therapy has a little less noise.
Sephora is rolling out new quiet hours. Shh.
What is this?
At stores all around the world.
How do you force people to be quiet?
Well, you know what? I will say, this is part of the reason that I don't go into Sephora's, because it is chaos in there.
It is.
The music's loud. There's all kinds of people bumping into each other.
It's like groups of young girls just running through there.
That's right. running full speed. Calmer, quieter shopping experience. Lower music. Thank you very much. Dimmed digital screens. And fewer sensory distractions, because you also got the perfume getting sprayed. The makeup giant says it started as a pilot, but was successful enough to implement at all of its stores. Shoppers can check with their local store to see when quiet hours are available. I will say this, though, as far as the lighting is concerned, you need a lot of light in these places. If you're going to be testing on, makeup, and you got to make sure it works.
I love Sephora.
I love Sephora, too.
And
I shop online at Sephora.
I go into the store and I have a lot of points.
That's part of why I like it.
But I can never use my points for anything.
Why?
Well, the point
they have a tiered system, my friend.
I know, but the freebies are always like.
Oh, you get the little free samples of the perfumes and the colognes.
Or a little like, what am I going to use this stuff for?
You can. At Sephora, if you go in the store, that's why they do this. They have like all the sample size stuff in the checkout aisle before you finally check out to one last grab at you.
I have accrued a lot of points from that store.
How many points? Can I use your points?
Sure. I don't use them. You're like, would you like
to check your points?
Would you like this lotion?
And they also give you freebies for your birthday.
They do?
Oh. Sephora's got to start paying us. We are not sponsored by Sephora.
We are not. But some of this face is Sephora. Amanda's off today. We've got you covered in the entertainment department. Entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino.
Now, they are sponsoring us. Okay, so how much would you pay for a severed hand? Let me rephrase that. How much would you pay for a Jedi's severed hand with a lightsaber? I love the cut point there, literally and figuratively. Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and his hand from his big fight with Daddy in Empire Strikes Back. Just sold for a whopping $3.75 million at auction. It's a new record for a screen-used prop in any Star Wars movie.
Wow.
Now, any Star Wars fan can tell you that moment was the game changer in the Star Wars canon. During the big fight, Luke finds out Darth Vader is his father.
It didn't go over well.
Luke, I am your father.
No!
Yeah! What a moment.
It was a great scene. If you have Amazon Prime, you'll be able to catch one of the year's most critically acclaimed movies based on a toy line. So despite love from critics and audiences, Masters of the Universe did not become the hit the studio had hoped for when it opened last month. Now Prime members can check it out for themselves when the movie drops on Prime starting tomorrow. Despite lackluster box office returns, MGM has so much confidence people will like this when they see it. And a sequel, even though it didn't do so well, already reportedly in development. A lot of kids grew up with this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
By the power of Grayskull.
I don't know at all what you're talking about.
He turns into He-Man, and he raises his sword, and he says, "By the power of Grayskull."
Was He-Man around during, like, the She-Ra? Remember She-Ra? Because I did have a She-Ra action figure.
Same.
You had a She-Ra action figure?
Well, we had a She-Ra and Skeletor.
Skeletor.
Yeah, the whole collection.
Okay,
She was part of it.
I do know Skeletor. Okay, earlier we were talking with Coco. You might remember about the Long Beach food scene, right? So we want to know, what's the best food city in the U.S.? This can be a very divisive topic. Is it right here, baby, in Los Angeles? Is it New York? They have some good bagels in Locks in New York.
It depends on what you're looking for.
New Orleans, that Cajun style. Houston, ooh, the barbecue. Chicago, what's Chicago known for? Tell me. It's pizza.
Deep dish.
It's deep dish pizza.
Right.
Or maybe there's one that we really haven't thought of yet, and you have ideas. Weigh in. Go to foxla.com/vote and leave us a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, send us a comment. What's your favorite food scene? What's your favorite food?
Maybe you go to Ohio in the Cincinnati area for the chili.
Yeah. A long-running world record for running a mile was just broken in the UK.
Clock is going to be mighty fast, and surely he's going to break the world record. He does. He obliterates the world record.
Whoa.
That's 28-year-old British runner Josh Kerr finishing a mile in just under 3 minutes.
Wow.
I don't even know how you do that. 3 minutes. Oh, 3 minutes and 43 seconds. That's about a half second faster than the previous record set back in 1999. Kerr trained in high altitude in Albuquerque and publicly announced his bid to break the record back in March. He admitted afterwards it was very overwhelming with all the hype, saying, "It's silly to call your shot that early. Obviously, a lot of things can go wrong."
Just by the skin of his teeth, though, right? Half second?
I'll run on the treadmill, and I'll do it in 7:45.
Okay, that's not too shabby.
A couple of
I think the fastest is 8 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm dead.
Yeah.
At the end of it. So to think
he
that
was
you can
training
do it
at altitude. I'm sure he had like the weight vest on. You know what I mean? Because if you can train like that, then yeah, anything else is a cakewalk for someone like that. All right. Speaking of challenging runs, an IKEA store in the UK will be holding an in-store marathon later on this year. Yeah, you heard that right. It's happening in December at the IKEA store in Croydon, England, and it's already sold out. Runners will travel 26.2 miles through the showroom, market hall, and the warehouse. We know these IKEAs are pretty big. Each lap is about 1.5 kilometers, so runners will have to complete about 17 loops. 80 runners will have 6 hours to finish the 26.2-mile race, so workers can get back to their jobs.
Wow.
IKEA organizers are working on the winners' medals, which will come with, self-assembly instructions. Is that real? Probably is. Is it? Wow.
Do they get the meatballs?
Yeah, what's the grand prize?
And what would you call them?
The IKEA meatballs are amazing.
It's Forkin' Blorkin'.
What's
that sounds right.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go with that. Good day, LA traffic, sponsored by the law offices of Jacob and Bridie. Call jacob.com. We do have a brand new crash. We're going to take you over to this issue. 2 vehicles collided here, southbound side of 605 at Ramona Boulevard, and the delays are adding up pretty quickly. It is blocking the slow lane, so just a heads up, that's part of your commute to ease up on your drive there. Eastbound side of the 10 at Wilmington Avenue, earlier there was a crash, and it was solid behind that incident. Now things are improving, so that should clear pretty soon. Here's a look at our real-time traffic. We've got a little over half an hour ride from downtown through Mid-City to get to the west side, a little over half an hour northbound side of the 110 from the 405, and a little bit of a struggle still, 60 westbound from the 57 coming inbound to downtown LA, 41 minutes. Here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
So I do hot yoga every day. After the accident, my lower back was so stiff I couldn't move, and I called Jacob. They treated me like a king. I did not have to deal with anything. If you're in an accident, call Jacob. Call Jacob.
Welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quilban. Good Day LA weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. We've got a beautiful view to show you right now, Santa Monica, and the temperature's actually a lot more comfortable, yes, along the coast with that sea breeze. However, it is still above average as you get to the coast today with those upper 70s. The heat risk, and when we talk about the major heat risk we're expecting with this heat wave, it does increase as we get to Thursday and Friday, particularly with that extreme heat risk as we get into the valleys and the Inland Empire with those triple digits. So bears reminding to let you know about hydrating. Take numerous water breaks if you have to be out and about or working under these weather conditions. Make sure you take those breaks. Make sure you wear the appropriate clothing, the light-colored, lightweight clothing, and get into some air conditioning if you can. Go to a movie, go to the mall, check on your friends, and of course, let's take care of our pets, please. We do have those widespread heat advisories that are in effect, shaded in the orange here with those temperatures in the 90s and nearing triple digits, and a lot of those hot 100s to 110s expected into our lower desert communities. We've got a high surf advisory as well along the coast. We've got hazards everywhere. If you're headed to the beach to try to cool off, we do have some strong rip currents in the water. 77 today for downtown LA, and we're going to hold on to those upper 70s all the way through the weekend into next week. 88 for downtown LA, 91 on Thursday. Again, staying well above normal through Monday, at least 100 in the valleys and the Inland Empire, 106 by Thursday. Mountains also quite warm, especially up into Big Bear Lake. 80 today, 86 as we get to Thursday and Friday. We do have quite a bit of instability, so that chance for some thunderstorms as well there. 98 for the high desert areas, getting to those triple digits beginning tomorrow into next week. 108 in Palm Springs, and if you think that's hot, look at this, 114 by this weekend to 116 on Sunday. So that's my weather for now. Make sure you stay heat safe out there and check in on your neighbors. Stay with us. We will be right back after this quick break.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday. I'm Roxy Carpadian. Nice to have you with us. It's 9 o'clock.
I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for being here. And Maria has a check of your forecast.
Get ready for the heat wave, guys. I've been advertising it, talking about it, and it is going to get hotter as we get into the middle of this week and lasting into the weekend and next week. Today's not quite as active in terms of the wet weather. A lot of it showing up on the radar to our east over the desert southwest, but don't be surprised if we see some pop-up storms later this afternoon. We do have some high mid-level clouds. If you're right at the coast, we are getting that sea breeze, but it is very weak. It is very light, so there's not much relief there. There's also some moisture moving up to our north, all remnants of a tropical system we were watching in the East Pacific. And I'll go over the number of storms that we are watching right now. It is hurricane season officially, so we are watching at least 3 areas. 79 degrees in Woodland Hills, currently 75 in Burbank, 79 in San Bernardino, 95 in Palm Springs, already in the mid-70s up into the mountains. And we are expecting it to get to around 80 degrees, a mixture of some sunshine and some clouds. 98 in the high desert, eventually out near the Antelope Valley, about 108 in Palm Springs today. You factor in a little bit of that humidity, and it does feel warmer than that. 100 in the valleys in IE, 88 in the inland areas of Orange County, as well as downtown LA, to the upper 70s along the coast. I'll talk more about the high surf and the weather alerts that are in place when I come back. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you, too.
All right, Maria, thanks so much. So we're just moments away from an event that marks a turning point for public schools in Los Angeles. The new head of LAUSD about to deliver his first opening of the school's address. Superintendent Andres Chaith is a longtime district leader, former teacher. He was appointed to the job last month after former superintendent Alberto Carvalho resigned following an FBI probe. The address will take place at Garfield High School, where Chaith will lay out his vision for the upcoming school year. That event is scheduled to actually begin at 9, so any minute now it will begin, and when that happens, we'll bring you to live as soon as he gets ready to make those remarks.
Also happening today, prosecutors will begin laying out their case against singer David, charged with murder in the brutal killing of a 14-year-old girl.
Let's go to Mario right now, live in downtown LA with more on the start of the preliminary hearing. Good morning, Mario.
Roxy, Sandra, good morning. Right now, at least 50 people are waiting just outside the courtroom for a seat inside through the lottery system that they're conducting here. Only 10 public seats available. And here with this hearing today that's getting underway, we could learn new details about what investigators say happened before and after Celeste's death. Now, take a look. You can see the 21-year-old singer. He appeared in court for his initial arraignment. This was back in April. David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, pleaded not guilty to charges including first-degree murder, sexual abuse of a child, and the mutilation of human remains in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Now, prosecutors here allege David and Celeste began a sexual relationship in 2023 when he was 18 and she was 13, and claim she threatened to expose the relationship. Investigators say Celeste was last seen alive after an Uber took her to Burke's Hollywood Hills home in April of last year, and prosecutors allege she was stabbed multiple times, stabbed to death, and that her remains were later found inside 2 body bags in the front trunk of the singer's Tesla months later. Prosecutors also say there's evidence that links David to items purchased after the alleged killing, including chainsaws, body bags, and other supplies. This morning on Good Day LA, a short time ago, high-profile defense attorney Mark Garagos said this week's preliminary hearing could reveal crucial pieces of evidence the public hasn't seen before.
I think because of the attention of this case, we're going to learn a lot more of what they have. I think specifically the defense and I think the public want to know exactly what the medical examiner came up with. As you probably know, it's almost unprecedented in a case where you have the LAPD and the medical examiner basically at odds, where there's been public pronouncements. I would imagine that you will find out quite a bit today and potentially tomorrow.
Now, David has been held without bail since his arrest. His attorneys maintain he's innocent, saying the evidence will show he did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez or cause her death. The prosecutors, we should mention, haven't yet decided whether they'll seek the death penalty. So that preliminary hearing set to get underway at 9:30 in about less than a half hour, and we're just outside the courtroom standing by for any possible comment. For now, that's the latest here in West Hollywood. Downtown LA. We'll send it back to you.
And Mario, this preliminary hearing has been delayed 3 times already. Why did it take so long to get here?
Well, the biggest reason, Sandra, was the sheer amount of evidence. Prosecutors say they turned over 40 terabytes of discovery to the defense, and that includes surveillance video, digital records, text messages, and the defense had initially requested a quick hearing as quickly as possible, but they later asked for more time from the judge to go over that evidence, and they were granted that request in each of the last 3 delays. So this was originally scheduled in April, and it's now been pushed back, and here we are, July, with that hearing getting underway.
And are we expecting to see David in court today?
Yes, we are expecting David to appear in court for the start of this preliminary hearing, and likely for each day that this continues here. We've been told that this is right now scheduled here at the Criminal Courts Building downtown for the next 3 days, but this could push into next week. It's possible this could stretch on for more, possibly 7 days. We'll, of course, be following it each way through the process.
All right, Mario, thank you. Appreciate you being there. One person was killed in a crash this morning that involved a wrong-way driver on the 405 freeway in Hawthorne. The wrong-way driver was in a black sedan going southbound in the northbound lanes at about 80 miles per hour at around 12:50 this morning. The collision involved several cars just south of Rosecrans. One of the cars caught on fire, prompting a Good Samaritan to pull over and grab a jug of water in his car to douse the flames.
I pulled over, I seen the car on fire, and I put it out. And then I seen a person in there. We checked their pulse and dead on impact. And then we seen another guy in there, which I believe is her brother, and he got out.
The name of the person killed has not yet been released, and CHP issued a SIG alert shutting down all northbound lanes for about an hour before opening a couple of lanes to traffic. The SIG alert was canceled at about 5:20 this morning.
This morning, crews will begin preparing to backfill a massive sinkhole in West Hollywood. A 36-inch water main broke last week on Sunset Boulevard, which caused extensive flooding and damage. The LA Department of Water and Power says all leaks around the ruptured line have been plugged, and a critical repair to the transmission line has been completed. The focus now is the sinkhole, and today crews will prepare to dump 30 truckloads of concrete to backfill that sinkhole that has shut down one of the city's busiest streets. Next up will be restoring the street asphalt. In the meantime, testing the quality of water in the repaired pipeline will also begin.
A federal judge has ordered a pause on the Paramount-Warner Brothers Discovery merger. The $81 billion effort will be blocked for at least 2 weeks, giving states challenging the deal time to see their case play out. A dozen states are looking to stop the takeover, claiming it would hurt competition. Paramount is not commenting on this ruling.
Entertainment industry leaders gathering today to discuss LA's growing runaway production crisis. Political candidates, local candidates, and working crew members are set to take part in a town hall in Hollywood tonight. The goal is to come up with concrete ideas to keep film and TV production in Southern California. Event organizers say the local bureaucracy and strict city permits have turned parts of LA into some of the hardest places to shoot in the country. Tonight's event has been dubbed that is the Film Here, Work Here Town Hall. Local candidates, producers, directors, writers will take part in the discussion. It gets underway at 6 o'clock at the lot on Formosa in Hollywood.
All right, time to check with Maria and a check of traffic.
And this traffic report is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. We're going to zoom in to a new crash here on the 105 freeway. This is on the westbound 105. The right shoulder now blocked by this accident in Willowbrook. So you want to keep that in mind if you're about to get on the 105. The backup not too bad, but it's definitely slowing down because of that. Here's one of our live traffic cameras. This is the South 101 at Vigna Street. Major backup there going into downtown LA. So yeah, it's going to be a little slow ride getting in. As far as in and out of downtown LA on that West 10, going actually towards Santa Monica between the 5 to the 405, it's slow too, 37 minutes. On that North 110 between the 405 to the 10, 24 minutes. On that West 60 between the 57 to the 5, 38 minutes there. Now let's look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DTLA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
Oh, pretty.
Beautiful. The heat wave is coming. Doesn't that look inviting?
I don't see anyone there. Granted, we're far away, but
maybe people are sleeping in.
Yeah.
All right, Amanda's off today, but we got you covered for your entertainment headline, sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino.
Agent Scully is back, and so is the X-Files. Well, kinda.
I miss that sound. Personal log, no visible sender, minimal packaging. You've got to be kidding me. Multiple components. Interlocking system. I don't remember you being so small.
Okay, it's kind of funny, actually. Gillian Anderson reprising her role from the hit show to promote LEGO's new X-Files set, comprised of 1,478 pieces. 8 minifigures, which include Mulder and Scully. The X-Files Lego set includes a detailed replica of FBI agent Fox Mulder's office, along with a forest clearing scene and a hovering UFO at that as well. And the set will be available if you go to lego.com insiders first on August 1st, then to everyone else a couple days later on August 4th.
That's
it's
really
clever,
creative. I like it. I like the little promo. Cool. All right, another beloved show is set to also make a comeback. Disney has officially ordered a reboot of the Mickey Mouse Club for Disney+. A pilot is set to begin production in Los Angeles this month, featuring a brand new generation of young performers. The variety show originally debuted back in 1955, but it's perhaps best known for its famous late 80s revival, which launched the massive careers of pop stars like, of course, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Ryan Gosling. Look at them looking all young. Do you remember them back then?
Yeah, of course. The footage seems so old to me. I mean, it is. It is,
fuzzy.
but it seems even older. The quality is just, wow, we've come so far.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Look at that. All right, we'll see what happens at the reboot. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. Good Day LA weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino. And what a beautiful view to show you right now. This is the bench. I want to encourage you to go there and sit down right at this hour, and we'll give you a shout out. This is the good stuff for Hermosa bench. They're showing us some sunshine. Yeah, it's gorgeous right now, and that's where you want to be to try to stay cool. Hey, it is hurricane season. We're watching several storms, including what is now the second named storm in the Gulf. We've got Tropical Storm Bertha with winds that have increased from earlier this morning from 50 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour. It is expected to continue to move toward New Orleans and then eventually into Texas, but it's bringing a lot of rain into parts of the Gulf Coast. Another hurricane here, Fausto. Actually, the first hurricane in the East Pacific. Winds of 75 miles an hour. It is expected to strengthen and move closer to the Hawaiian Islands in the Central Pacific here after we get to this weekend. So we're watching that one closely, also generating some swells along with what's left of Elita, bringing moisture up into northern and central California. We are under the influence again of this area of high pressure. It's been there pretty much dominating our weather all month. It is picking up some of that subtropical moisture from the southeast. So we're going to call for some hazy, hot, kind of humid conditions to continue, and then a little bit of instability as well. So chances for some storms out towards the mountains and deserts and the rest of the desert southwest. But this heat wave is on. So I encourage you to limit your outdoor activities. I want you to stay heat safe with these temperatures getting into that danger zone of triple digits. And it's a prolonged period of time. So we do have heat advisories that are in effect, along with the extreme heat watches that are in effect for the Inland Empire, parts of the desert communities. We're talking about these triple digits all through the weekend and even into early next week. So that can cause a lot of stress on our bodies. 109 in India today, 83 in Inglewood to 103 up in Bakersfield. Here is your day planner for Thousand Oaks, getting to those mid-80s this afternoon. Anaheim out in Orange County getting to 87 by 3 p.m. today. I'll send it back to you.
Oh, I do remember this song.
Love that
it was a good one. The Ataris is hitting the stage at Vans Warped Tour this weekend, but you don't have to wait until Saturday to get a taste of their music.
One Long Beach bar is crafting a cocktail in their honor as part of a citywide effort to celebrate Warped Tour and local businesses.
All right, let's go to Coco live at Midnight Oil with a closer look. That song actually reminds me of
summer.
Yeah, and growing up.
Love it.
Right?
I know. I love that song, too. It definitely reminds me of summer as well. And a summer staple, of course, Vans Warped Tour coming back to Long Beach this weekend. And it really does highlight local restaurants and bars because they're partnering with Long Beach Food Scene Week. We are here at Midnight Oil. This is one of the coolest places I have ever been to. This is Sherwood, who's a partner and beverage director, shaking up something for us. Tell us about what you're making.
So we teamed up with the Ataris for our cocktail. They're from Indiana. Indiana's known for rye whiskey, and we picked rye whiskey for our base. To make it a little extra summery, we went with peach jam, lemon juice, ginger syrup, honey syrup, and it all comes together as this beautiful, bright package.
Ooh, I like that. And tell us about the affordability, too, with your cocktails.
So the entire house between the 3 bars we have here, it's all value-driven, and the entire point for us to make here is that you can come out here, you can have a good time, and it's not going to break the bank.
Like that. Not going to break the bank. Okay, we want to see the beautiful drink. I know you're going to do it for us here. And while he's making that, I have to show you this bar, by the way, because Sherwood built this. How beautiful does this look? It's just incredible. And while he's showing us the beautiful drinks, I want to get over here to Brian now, who is with Long Beach Food Scene Week. And tell us all about this collaboration between Warped Tour and Long Beach Food Scene Week.
Yeah, it's incredible. I have an annual restaurant week that's really successful, but it's never really been about discounts or coupons. It's been about what I call culinary flexing. And so when Vans approach to do a collaboration, they have a mission of accessibility and affordability. So So it just acted as this perfect partnership where we're able to uplift Long Beach restaurants by partnering them with some of the biggest names in rock music. And then we get to have dishes that are all $15 or under. So every single collaboration that's on this list, there's 21, are all $15 or under. So it's a great segue into Long Beach Food Scene Week.
I love that. And Brian, we love what you do to really uplift these restaurants and bars. Okay, I told you this is one of the coolest places I've ever been to, and you're seeing why now. I'm going to get into this space now with Leonard and Kevin. So, Leonard, tell us about this space that I just walked into.
This is Hopongyo Hand Laundry, which is hearkening to the 1930s when there were a lot of opium dens in in Chinatown, right? So this is an 1800s marital bed that we luckily came upon in Long Beach. And so this whole concept here is we have a very approachable bar in the middle called the Apothecary. And then we have a Creature from the Black Lagoon, Bayou themed bar over there, just tropical, and then this is more of a bespoke experience.
Yes, and it's incredible. It feels so cool to sit in here, and you're with Kevin. Happy to have you, founder of Vans Warped Tour, and what it means to you to really have this great collaboration where you're able to highlight businesses like Midnight Oil.
Well, what it means to me is I need to be a rock star and bring this backstage with me. I want this set up in my dressing room. I want to be hanging with people at Warped Tour with this. That'd be my rock star moment. But it's really great to be able to embrace the communities and the way we do it. And when being a two-day festival instead of the traveling festival gives us that moment in time to create these moments. So beyond this, we're having a film festival with the Art Theater. There's 21 restaurants. Everyone's engaged, and the more you can engage a community, you leave the mark when you leave. And it's important. I believe in that community so deeply that it's really special. So Long Beach is, like I said before, is my roots. I started in the clubs of Long Beach, working in the punk rock clubs, and being able to come back here and bring a show here, and the weather's always nice along the coast. It'll be a great weekend.
It will be a great weekend. Talk about how people can still get tickets too.
Yeah, we still have tickets available. We're doing single-day tickets this year, so you can come either Saturday or Sunday. 150 bands over the weekend. But really what's great about this is the engagement of Warped Tour, what goes on between the stages. We have the Nitro Circus here. Vans is bringing a big vert ramp with some of the greatest skaters, Steve Caballero, Steve Alba, a lot of the great skaters will be out here. And we have so many nonprofits. We work with over 25 nonprofits, so people will be down here signing up to engage in the community long term.
I love that. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, Leonard. Shout out to Brian and Sherwood as well. And shout out to Midnight Oil. Come and check them out. This is so incredibly cool. Great cocktails and, of course, a great reason to really celebrate that collaboration between Vans Warped Tour and Long Beach Food Scene Week. I'll send it back to you.
That looks like a cool spot.
Really cool.
Yeah, I like
what a great event.
Isn't
I like
cool?
how Sherwood was shaking it. Double shake.
Oh my gosh, look.
Yes.
That is so cool. That's awesome. Really fun spot. Thank you so much, Coco. Okay, so we're talking tasty food. Let's check in on our poll question this morning. We asked you, what's the best food city in America? Here are the results. Looks like 43% of you say Los Angeles, maybe because we're taking the poll in Los Angeles, followed by New York. I'm quite surprised New Orleans is only at 15% because let me tell you, they've got great food.
They have great food, very specific food though. So I would say New York because of the different cuisines.
Me too.
Out there. All great, wherever you go, high end or low end, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I actually would have added another list,
Which one? Which
I would have thrown in Vegas because you get people from all over the world and they have the best restaurants. They do. Okay, we have some comments here. Justin from Los Angeles. LA takes the W for best in options and quality, especially Mexican food. My second choice for best food city is London.
Oh, yes.
The
London
best Indian
so
food
good.
in the world. That is true for Indian food for sure. My son Logan's choice, McDonald's.
Keep it simple, right? Charlene from Hemet says Boston has the best food. When you see a restaurant, choose a fish right off the boat, you know it's going to be good.
Ooh.
Love the East Coast.
Holly from Northridge can find all the best cultural foods here.
And Daniel says hands down Philly has the best food. Maybe Philly cheesesteak, that's for sure. All right, thanks for your comments. Keep them coming. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Taking a look at our top stories this morning, the 405 freeway in Hawthorne was closed for about 3 hours this morning after a deadly accident involving a wrong-way driver. The driver was speeding southbound at 80 miles per hour when the black sedan slammed into several other northbound vehicles near Rosecrans Avenue. One person died at the scene.
A hearing begins today where a judge will decide whether there is enough evidence to put singer David on trial in the killing and dismembering a 14-year-old girl. Prosecutors allege that he killed her for threatening to expose their sexual relationship. Prosecutors say the 21-year-old singer, whose legal name is David Burke, had Celeste Rivas Hernandez come to the Hollywood Hills home he was renting, where he stabbed her multiple times and then used chainsaws to cut up her body in the garage. Her remains were found in the trunk of the car registered to the singer months after she went missing. No cameras will be allowed in the courtroom, but we will have reporters there following this testimony.
The new head of the LA Unified School District is about to lay out his vision for the upcoming school year. Superintendent Andres Chait will be delivering his first opening of the school's address at Garfield High School this morning. Chait was appointed to the job last month after former Superintendent Alberto Carvalho resigned following an FBI probe. We'll have a live report from Gigi Gracia coming up.
Social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate are fighting extradition to the United Kingdom. According to prosecutors in Britain, these latest charges include rape, assault, and trafficking. They all stem from allegations related to 4 victims. The 2 were arrested Saturday in Miami. The Tate's lawyer suggesting their arrest is politically motivated.
The new superintendent of the LA Unified School District is about to deliver his first opening of the school's address this morning.
All right, let's get to Gigi live at Garfield High School in East Los Angeles with more. Gigi, good morning.
Good morning. I have to keep it down because the program is underway. Let me show you. Energy is just off the charts here, although everyone is quiet right now because they're listening to the speaker. But in a short while, LA Unified's new superintendent, Andres Chait, will officially welcome the Los Angeles Unified community for the 2026-2027 school year with what's called his Opening of Schools address. Now, this year's program features student performances. They're going to be highlighting the accomplishments the district has made on student achievement. Now, for the nation's second largest school district, it is a time of rebuilding and renewal. It's a chance to rebuild trust and stability. This after the resignation of Alberto Carvalho, who is now under federal investigation connected to an AI company the district had contracted with that abruptly went out of business. Now, Chait, who's been with the district for almost 3 decades, faces the same challenges that Carvalho did, declining enrollment and budget deficits. But optimism is high today, and we're going to be learning more about his plans for what he has for the school district coming up in just a short while. For now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Gigi, thank you, and I appreciate that report. I know it's going on over there, the program, so we'll check back in with you. On to this now. A tense confrontation at San Francisco International Airport has now prompted an internal investigation at United Airlines. A family trying to fix a ticketing error says an employee became frustrated and suggested calling immigration authorities on them.
Maybe we should call ICE on you. You could call ICE on me? Oh, say that again? Say that again? Maybe you need to be, because you don't act like a citizen. Get away.
For her to say that in her place of employment is completely shocking and degrading and dehumanizing and intimidating.
Passenger Julio Varela says that viral exchange happened earlier this month when his family was flying out of SFO to Montreal, Canada. Varela, who is a naturalized citizen, says there was a mistake on his daughter's ticket and his family was trying to get it resolved at the United Airlines and Air Canada desks. Varela says he started recording as the confrontation escalated. Our sister station KTVU spoke to an immigration attorney who said there may be grounds for a civil rights lawsuit.
If a person is being profiled based on their appearance, their race, ethnicity, national origin, without anything more, would be a violation of a person's civil rights.
And the funny thing is, with United, I think I don't know if their slogan is, we we fly the friendly skies or something like that. My first thought when I saw that was, well, unless you're Mexican, because they're not going to be too friendly to you. For her to have the gall to say that to my face when I'm recording her, that tells me it's not the first time she says it.
Varela says United did apologize for the incident, and the airline released a statement saying they are looking into the interaction.
A Trump administration lawsuit against California public colleges could end up in sharp tuition hikes for thousands of students. The administration going after undocumented students because their tuition is based on in-state residency, and they're also allowed to apply for financial aid. Now, if the suit is successful, it could end up costing students 10 times more for community college and nearly 4 times as much to attend a UC school. A federal judge in Sacramento is expected to rule any day on whether the case can proceed. In 2022, about 62,000 undocumented students benefited from in-state tuition at community colleges. A report to the Assembly Committee on Higher Education said that while another 10,000 attended a California state university and 4,000 were enrolled at UC campuses.
Trump's Justice Department is also targeting UC San Diego's medical school. The DOJ says it illegally favored Black and Latino students in admissions process, violating federal law. Officials allege the school used hardship questions to prioritize race, disadvantaging white and Asian applicants. The university denies any wrongdoing here, but is reviewing the findings. This is a part of a broader investigation into race-based admissions, with universities like UCLA and Stanford also facing scrutiny. The Justice Department warns of potential lawsuits if practices don't change.
An Inland Empire city turns to AI to help detect wildfire threats. Rancho Cucamonga just installed the so-called Firebird system to give firefighters an early warning. The AI-assisted system can detect fires as small as 10 square feet from 100 yards away. The city's fire chief says the system can also provide pictures of the flames, its location, a weather report within seconds to 911 dispatchers, and that really shaves minutes of wildfire response times. The Press Enterprise reports 30 of the Firebird devices installed along the base of San Gabriel Mountains went live yesterday. That's great.
That'd be great. Yeah, great tool for fighting fires.
Yeah,
checking the weather.
We've always heard that those first 15 minutes are so
Make a
critical
difference, yeah.
When we first detect a fire. Speaking of fires, we do have some elevated fire danger. We have some very hot temperatures that are on tap. Once again, another heat wave is with us, so be prepared for some hot conditions. And this is a prolonged period of really hot days. I'm going to walk over to the green screen. We'll talk about this heat wave continuing, and the heat will really get hot as it peaks on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it will continue into at least the early part of next week. We're going to add some humidity as well to the forecast, as well as some instability. So we do have a chance for some storms or some showers as we get to the afternoon and evening hours. High surface also an issue if you are headed to the coast to try to get some relief from this heat. So bears reminding to tell you about staying heat safe. The risk for heat-related illnesses will definitely increase as we get into Thursday and Friday. Looking at the graph here, it will be extreme by the time we get to the end of this week and into this upcoming weekend. So heat stress can really affect your body in a very, very serious way. Can be fatal if you are suffering not just heat exhaustion, but heat stroke. So remember to take numerous water breaks. Breaks from the sun. Try to wear the appropriate clothing, light-colored, lightweight clothing. Getting some air conditioning if you can. Please check on your neighbors, your elderly friends and family, and of course, please remember the pets. As we look ahead to beyond our 7-day forecast, looking at that timestamp to the end of the month, we're going to continue this trend of hotter than normal temperatures. So yeah, it's here to stay for a bit, you guys. 91 in Burbank today for that high. 100 in Woodland Hills. 92 in Corona. 94 in Riverside. Even at the coast, we're talking about nearly 80 degrees, 79 in Huntington Beach to around 108 in Palm Springs today. We'll talk more about the 7-day forecast, the extended outlook in just a few moments. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Developing this morning, the FDA is walking back claims that the lettuce sample from California-based Taylor Farms tested positive for cyclospora, the parasitic infection that causes that explosive diarrhea, which you've heard us talk about since last week. Officials now are saying that it was a false positive. but they actually haven't cleared Taylor Farms as the likely source of the outbreak. Fox 11's Christy Fajardo has the story.
Of a mistake and an apology is what Taylor Farms says it got from the FDA over the weekend. The agency now says it retested and reviewed an iceberg lettuce sample from a farm in central Mexico it had linked to a cyclopsoriasis outbreak and realized the earlier test had produced a false positive. Even so, the company, which voluntarily recalled lettuce from the region, is not abandoning the recall.
The FDA did report that there was a false positive over the weekend, but this afternoon they said that they're standing firmly by this recall because public health safety is built on actually two things. We want to make sure that there's real-world detective work as well as lab data.
The chlorospora parasite is believed to have sickened thousands of people across the country, with states like Michigan being the hardest hit. The FDA says it has likely linked the outbreak to Taylor Farms shredded lettuce used at Taco Bells in 5 states and still believes the source could have come from central Mexico, adding that the agency continues to work with Taylor Farms to find the root of the outbreak and get possible contaminated products off the market, and is recommending restaurants and consumers check Taylor Farms produce sold at Walmart under the MarketSide brand to make sure they are not part of the recall.
We have a lot of control on the produce that we are buying and how we are washing our produce. So I would say stay away from, again, shredded lettuce, snap peas, raspberries, green onions, and basically any untreated water as well.
The parasitic infection is not generally considered fatal, but can cause what's described as explosive diarrhea, which can lead to hospitalization. The FDA now says it hasn't had a single positive sample to pinpoint a specific source, but continues its investigation.
Maybe there are multiple different outbreaks and we don't have a source. So it's really hard to know how long we should take precautions. But I would say the safest thing we can do is make sure we are cooking our vegetables.
Christy Fajardo, Fox 11 News.
All right, mosquitoes are getting harder to manage after becoming resistant to backyard insecticides. New research out of North Carolina shows the common Asian tiger mosquito can genetically mutate and survive over-the-counter pest control sprays and professional yard treatments. Researchers in North Carolina State University and Augusta University tracked these mosquitoes over 9 years and found they become immune to the common class of insecticides called pyrethroids. If left unchecked, it could have some big consequences since mosquitoes carry diseases like dengue and Zika. Researchers say a consistent, coordinated monitoring effort is needed in residential areas to keep an eye out on the problem. All right, one half of California's most famous eagles is on the mend.
Yeah, so we're talking about Jackie, or Big Bear's Jackie in shadow. That's how you remember her. Jackie was along the shoreline of Big Bear, and she was described as looking weak and, quote, a little worse for wear. However, she was awake and alert and had enough strength to fight rescuers for about 5 minutes before they were finally able to safely capture her and get her into a crate.
There's no visible signs of injury. It just looks like she's exhausted, hasn't been eating very well, again, very thin, just unable to fly. So it just takes time. So first, OHI will have to figure out exactly what's going on with her. And they're doing testing, they're running blood and doing labs to figure that out. Once they have that answer, they'll have a course of treatment they will have for her. And then hopefully, depending on how she responds to that treatment, she'll be deemed releasable back into the wild.
So as of this morning, the Facebook page for the Ojai Raptor Center says they are still evaluating Jackie. In the meantime, the organization has seen a surge in donations with $250,000 being pledged. More than 7,300 people have given money on behalf of Jackie.
Eagle moms are just like regular moms.
Just like us.
Yeah. She's tired. She needs a break. And we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. An investigation is underway into a brawl that broke out after the World Cup final. Several Argentinian players and coaches clashed with members of the Spanish team on the field after the final whistle. Tensions had been rising between the two teams before this brawl broke out. An Argentinian player was ejected late in the game after picking up his second yellow card. FIFA is now looking into this to see if any further action needs to be taken. Spain won Sunday's championship match 1-0.
Except if you're watching the game, you didn't see this.
No,
I saw this on social media, right?
Yeah, it was cut away.
Conveniently. In the meantime, the 2026 FIFA World Cup was the most lucrative sporting event in history. According to a report, World Soccer's governing body expected to net over $9 billion in revenue. It is the first time 48 teams have competed, up from 32 teams 4 years ago. The 2030 World Cup may be even bigger. We've talked about the fact they're thinking of increasing the number of countries allowed in to 64, I believe. So yeah, stay tuned.
We'll see about that, but it's not shocking. There was big money to be made in fashion for the World Cup too.
So naturally, Brooke is here to break that part of the story down for us.
You say fashion and I come in like Batman. Like, like, you know, I saw it in the sky. Yeah, so Business of Fashion put out some really interesting charts proving there were endless opportunities for brand building moments this tournament. Okay, who do you all think, if you had to guess, who do you think generated the most buzz this tournament? Which brand? Just the brand, like fashion brands, apparel brands. Who would you say?
Nike?
Nike, the big dog, yeah. So their Rip the Script campaign, you're looking at it now, paired current soccer stars and the icons of before with non-sport celebs. So think Kylian Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Kim Kardashian.
Oh yeah, this was the commercial.
Kim's here.
Give us a second, guys.
Just give us 2 minutes.
No, I ain't even got 1 minute. What we doing? The kids ready? I'm ready.
Guys, what are you doing?
Okay, according to Launch Metrics, this generated $60.7 million in media impact value. And when I talk about MIV, media impact value, that is this new metric basically where they're looking at media representation, influencer, and how much actual cash all of that can turn into.
It's like your return on investment.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. So Adidas, also,
they're the brand sponsor. For
I
FIFA,
know,
right?
but the Nike is the brand,
right?
You know, okay. Adidas paired your regular Hollywood superstars also with the likes of Trinity Rodman, Jude Bellingham, and now World Cup champ Lamine Yamal.
Hey, there he is. Let's go.
My dream team. Everybody know each other? Great chemistry.
That's a fun. That's
I like that.
Insider baseball joke, right? Because they are interleague rivals as well, right? Their Backyard Legends campaign generated a reported $22.4 million in media impact value. Of course, as you mentioned, Sandra, Adidas is also a premier FIFA partner, giving the brand massive visibility at actual games. You saw the 3 stripes on the soccer ball itself. The official referee uniforms. Adidas dressed 14 teams. Nike dressed 12. But while Adidas did win the battle on the pitch, it seems Nike won you. StockX. So they looked at resellers. Look at that. They said their top best-selling jersey within the first 6 months of this year belonged to Nike. It's this reissued 05-06 Barcelona Ronaldinho jersey. And then, of course, Nike's USA kit was everywhere, along with Adidas, their Mexico kit. These were all over the stands. But I thought this was interesting because the big winners were not just sportswear giants. Levi's created a massive marketing moment, having fun with FIFA's strict sponsorship rules. You remember they kind of wrapped the Levi's stadium side. They wrapped it just right so you could perfectly tell what it was. Then they also changed their social media photos to match. They had some stores do the same as well. They were selling T-shirts.
That's so smart.
It was so smart, yeah.
Okay, what about the luxury brands?
Right, because that's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's right.
We like to dream, right? You know what I mean? We do. And so, of course, Louis Vuitton, they actually got to carry out the official trophy, and they had it wrapped in an iconic LV monogram trunk. And then it also turns out the players themselves, they were big money for these brands. And it was all about our fascination with the handbags that the boys were carrying.
Right? We would change.
Yes, we were sending
each other.
About it. Yes, so you know, Erling Haaland, the French team, the South Korean team, like
Japanese
everyone.
team.
Yes, exactly. Everyone was obsessed with the handbags they were carrying. And this article actually says that just those images of them walking on and off planes did better for the likes of Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Bottega Veneta, Hermes than actual planned like partnerships that they had in magazines.
Actually,
isn't that interesting? Yeah.
That's how it always is. People like the feeling of organic and like behind the scenes kind of stuff, right?
And are those gifted to the athletes then to just carry off the plane?
It's one of those things, right, where you never know. It could be and it couldn't. You know, you look at Erling Haaland had a bag that wasn't, it was just off the runway. So you imagine that was gifted. But they are also, like, what does he also make, $80 million a season?
Yeah.
So he could have also bought it. You know what I mean? You never
and they're always the unique ones, right? Different colorways, stuff you would never see.
Why don't rich people ever have to buy anything? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
they have the money too.
They can afford it.
Yeah. We're all trying to split a Coach bag together here, okay? And they're getting free Dolce & Gabbana.
Yeah, it's not fair, is it?
No. Yeah, but we like to dream. It's like, I like to see what the stars are wearing.
I know, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Right, Maria, were you checking it out too?
I definitely saw the Japanese team with their merch and the Louis Vuitton, the LVs were everywhere. And the bling, some of the bling that I did see. Yeah, life's not fair, but hey, here goes. We are looking at some hot weather. I don't mind the humidity, but the prolonged period of heat and humidity is going to be with us. So I want you to exercise all the precautions, please, to stay heat safe, especially as we get to the middle and latter part of this week and this upcoming weekend. One of our computer models showing you how high pressure is just going to really stay anchored over the west and the southwest. Even the country's midsection will be experiencing some very hot temperatures as we get to the weekend and lasting so far right now well into the early part of next week. We're going to continue with the area of high pressure bringing us the heat as well as the humidity, by the way. So we do have heat advisories and extreme heat watches across SoCal. And if you're looking for some relief along the coast, there is a weak sea breeze that will help a little bit, but temperatures on the sand still pretty hot in the upper 70s. And a lot of people don't have air conditioning along the coast, along with some of our mountain locations. So please remember the tips that we had outlined earlier. Take numerous breaks, water breaks especially, with these temperatures staying near 90 or low 90s for downtown LA, Inland Orange County Thursday through Friday. Triple digits will hang around as well for the valleys and the Inland Empire, looking at 106 possible on Thursday. So that is really hot. That can cause heat stress on your body and increase that heat-related illness that we have been talking about. 80 degrees up into the mountains with that chance increasing for some showers on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And as we get to the high desert, 98 today to triple digits. And it's going to stay through the extended outlook into the early part of next week with 105, 106 possible. And even hotter in the low desert, 108 in Palm Springs today. Look at the 114 degrees Thursday through the weekend, possibly 116 on Sunday. So again, stay heat safe. Back to you.
We have a soccer tournament this weekend. It's going to be hot.
You too.
All right, later today in Altadena, another family will take a step towards coming home. San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity will break ground on its 15th rebuilt home in the Eaton Fire Zone. The project will kick off at 4:30 this afternoon on McNally Avenue. It'll give 2 fire survivors and their family a new home, debt-free.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. They do incredible work. Yeah. Airlines are warning that making daylight saving time permanent could take months or even years for their industry to fully implement. The warning comes after last week's passing of the Sunshine Protection Act in the House. Airlines for America, which represents major North American carriers, points to reworking flight schedules, reservation systems, crew assignments, and international connections. It warns this could cause widespread disruptions.
All right, stay with us. More ahead on Good Day LA at 10 o'clock. Where are we going? Where's that cruise ship going?
Where do you want to go, Greece?
You know what I always say.
Hawaii?
What I say. No, Tahiti.
Oh.
But that would be a far trip.
coming up on 10 a.m. on this Tuesday morning.
Singer David is due in court for the start of his preliminary hearing, and the artist is accused of murdering 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez and dismembering her body.
A tough story still to talk about. Let's go to Mario live in downtown LA with more on what we can expect to happen in the courtroom this morning. Mario.
Yeah, Roxy and Sandra, that preliminary hearing just getting underway. We can tell you Cristina Gonzalez is inside the courtroom. We're just outside the criminal courts building, and she sent me a message saying they're not allowing any cameras, any cell phones inside, and we're expecting to learn more about the evidence that prosecutors plan to present here as they try to convince a judge that there is enough evidence, probable cause here, to move forward with a jury trial. So we will wait for that in this multi-day preliminary hearing process. Meanwhile, take a look. You can see him here, the 21-year-old singer appearing in court for his initial arraignment back in April. David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, pleaded not guilty to charges including first-degree murder, sexual abuse of a child, and the mutilation of human remains in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Prosecutors allege David and Celeste began a sexual relationship in 2023 when he was 18 and she was just 13, and claimed she threatened to expose the relationship. Now, investigators say Celeste was last seen alive after an Uber took her to Burke's Hollywood Hills home in April of 2025, and prosecutors allege she was stabbed to death and that her remains were later found inside 2 body bags in the front trunk of the singer's Tesla months later. Court documents also say prosecutors plan to present surveillance video, text messages, and evidence they say links Burke to items purchased after the alleged killing, including chainsaws, body bags, and other supplies. Now, we've seen interest in this case. It was evident early on. People began arriving before sunrise for a lottery that determined who could get one of just 10 seats available to the public inside the courtroom. Take a listen here.
I'm here to see what's going on. I've been here the last 4 hearings. I've been covering it on TikTok as well. I just want to see what's going on. I'm from Hollywood, so I don't really want to see he says, she says, or the opinions of other people. I want to see what's going on in my home myself, so that's why I'm here. And justice for Celeste.
Hoping to get a seat inside the courtroom?
I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I think I will, I think I will. I got here pretty early, so.
Now, Burke has been held without bail since his arrest in April. His attorneys maintain he's innocent, saying the evidence here will show he did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez or cause her death. And we should also mention prosecutors have yet to decide whether they'll be seeking the death penalty here in this case. And right now, as it stands this morning, this preliminary hearing is scheduled for the next 3 days, today being the first. And we're expecting to hear from someone with the district attorney's office when they break for lunch. So again, that preliminary hearing getting underway, and when they break for lunch sometime in the next few hours, we should get an update here and someone giving a statement. For now, we'll send it back to you.
And Mario, we learned that David has asked the judge to remove his handcuffs during today's hearing. What's the argument behind that request, and how likely is that?
Yeah, that motion was filed. We haven't had confirmation if he is in court shackled or not, but we know his defense attorneys have argued that he doesn't need to be restrained inside the courtroom. He hasn't tried to escape or been disruptive in his previous court hearings, and this could cast or show an unfair impression inside the courtroom. So we know that that motion's been filed, but ultimately it'll be up to the judge on whether or not he grants it. So more to come on that.
You mentioned how there's limited seating to the public. Who have you seen show up to try to get a seat inside of that courtroom? Is it family, friends, supporters? Who?
We haven't heard from or seen any family members or anyone directly connected to the case, but as people were gathering here outside the courtroom, I did talk with a few people who said they were independent journalists, some other content creators who cover pop culture and high-profile cases like this. And this is no surprise, because when we first started covering this case, when we learned that David, the singer, was possibly connected with that Hollywood tow yard discovery, we saw some live streamers, content creators coming out there on a daily basis while we were covering this. Trying to get information and live streaming along the way. So it's no surprise that there's so much attention here from fairly young content creators.
Yeah, a lot of interest in this case. All right, Mario, thank you. We'll get an update later. And new this morning, a road rage suspect has been taken into custody after a dangerous half-hour pursuit that ended in Montebello. Police lit up the driver at about 7:30 this morning in the San Gabriel Valley, prompting the suspect to make a run for it in that black SUV you see right there. The chase headed toward downtown LA, with the suspect racing through Koreatown, University Park, downtown Boyle Heights, and then back into the San Gabriel Valley. You see the CHP right there making a pit maneuver. It ended just before 8 o'clock. o'clock when the suspect clipped the rear end of a moving car on a surface street in Montebello, giving CHP a chance to pin the SUV, yank the driver out right there. Quickly done. Arrest was made. No injuries were reported in the chase.
That was intense.
It was dramatic.
Oh my gosh, they did it
live happening
so quickly.
They don't mess around.
No. Don't mess with the CHP. All right, this morning, crews will begin preparing to backfill the massive sinkhole on Sunset Boulevard, where that 36-inch water main break happened last week, of course, causing extensive damage to the West Hollywood area. The LA Department of Water and Power is saying that all leaks around the ruptured line has been plugged, and a critical repair to the transmission line has actually been completed. Now, the focus is that sinkhole. Today, crews will prepare to dump 30 truckloads of concrete to backfill the sinkhole that has shut down one of the city's busiest streets. Next up, we'll be restoring the street asphalt. In the meantime, testing the quality of the water in the repaired pipeline that will begin as well.
With stifling heat on the way this week, LA County health officials are warning against getting into the water to stay cool in some areas. So here are some of the locations they are issuing a warning. We have Mother's Beach in Marina del Rey, the entire swim area there. Be careful, do not get in. Inner Cabrillo Beach in San Pedro, Topanga Canyon Beach in Malibu, and the Santa Monica Pier area. Health officials say at these locations, recent water samples showed bacteria levels exceeding state health standards.
Federal judge has temporarily blocked Paramount's $110 billion takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery. The 2-week hold follows a lawsuit by 12 states led by California, claiming the merger violates antitrust laws. California Attorney General Rob Bonta saying the deal would hurt competition. It would also lead to higher prices and fewer choices for consumers. A hearing is scheduled for next month as the court considers an even longer injunction.
Happening today, entertainment industry leaders will gather to tackle LA's growing runaway production crisis. Local political candidates and working crew members are set to take part in a town hall in Hollywood tonight. The goal is to come up with concrete ideas to keep film and TV production in Southern California. Event organizers say local bureaucracy and strict city permitting have turned parts of LA into some of the hardest places to shoot in the country. So tonight's event has been dubbed the Film Here, Work Here Town Hall. Local candidates, producers, directors, and writers will take part in the discussion. It all gets underway at 6 o'clock this evening at the Lot on Formosa in Hollywood.
Voters in Fullerton may get the final say on a proposed sales tax to fund public works projects. The Fullerton City Council will meet this evening to consider placing a half-cent sales tax on the November ballot. The money would go specifically for streets and public infrastructure. Public Works, the city's largest department in terms of budget and workers. The director saying that any more cuts will be felt by the people who live in Fullerton. The tax would help ease a nearly $4 million budget gap remaining after the city cut nearly $10 million from the new fiscal year budget.
President Trump may expand the war against Iran after another night of U.S. airstrikes.
The administration now considering new options. Douglas Zader has those details.
U.S. warplanes streak off into the darkness. Another night of airstrikes, and after the deaths of U.S. service members in recent days, a new warning from President Trump on Truth Social. Every time Iran kills an American soldier, they will pay for that killing many times over. Air raid sirens in Jordan signaled Iran's response, and there was a report of another ship struck in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's foreign minister said negotiations are underway, but there is growing skepticism.
I don't believe negotiations will get us back to where we need to be.
Trump needs to stop this catastrophe and bring our troops home.
Escalation is an option, but it would create more tension in Congress, where there is a growing debate over Pentagon funding.
I'm like, oh my gosh, gas went up again.
And more pressure for motorists, too, facing gas prices that are now steadily on the rise.
I think between Ukraine's attacks on Russia's refineries in the U.S. and Iran, that is the bulk majority of what's moving gas prices in the last week or two, and probably will continue to push prices up in the next couple of weeks.
That was Doug Luzada reporting. And this morning, President Trump is meeting with the president of Lebanon in Washington, and they are expected to discuss how to disarm the Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah and secure Israel's withdrawal from Lebanon.
The new superintendent of the LA Unified School District getting ready to deliver his first opening of the school's address this morning.
Let's go out to Gigi Graciette in East LA with the very latest. Gigi. Oh, all right. We lost her shot, and we will check back in with her a little later.
Okay. In the meantime, an appeals court is allowing the release of audio recordings and transcripts from former President Joe Biden's interviews with the ghostwriter of his memoirs after he sued to keep the recordings private. The panel's 2-1 ruling found a, quote, substantial public interest is in disclosing the new redacted materials, which were obtained during the special counsel's investigation into Biden's handling of classified documents. The divided 3-judge panel suspended its decision until August 3rd to allow time for Biden to consider another appeal.
Breaking news, a man stabbed 2 Greek-American tourists near Greece's top tourist attraction. Police say a woman sustained injuries in the leg while a man suffered from more serious wounds to the arm. The suspect was detained, though his identity is unclear at this point. Officials say the attacker appeared to have been suffering from psychological problems. Generally, violent street attacks are not common in Greece.
New video this morning showing the moment an Army veteran lit a fire outside of a New York federal building. Look closely, there it goes. The FBI later identified that suspect as Andrew Arabaka. They say that he poured gasoline on the ground, lit the fireworks. They say he then poured off airsoft pellet rounds at a plaza. Federal officers quickly were able to intervene, tackled the 43-year-old, who then agreed to be interviewed after his arrest.
He did say he was targeting the building, and he was okay if he hurt or killed people going in and out of the building, whether they were federal employees or civilians. When he was being arrested, he yelled derogatory terms to ICE, used bad words, obviously. He is an anti-American, anti-government extremist.
The FBI claims that he had other weapons on him, including 2 axes, 3 knives, a hammer, and a machete.
All right, time now to talk about our weather. First, a live look outside. This is Long Beach Harbor shoreline, and we're looking at some hazy skies. A little bit of a breeze, not much. This is really kind of a weak onshore flow there. If you are headed to the beach communities, we are anticipating some warmer than average temperatures, of course, and we're looking at some hotter temperatures the farther inland you go. We've got a mix of high mid-level cloud cover. Most of the rain and the showery activity is off to our east. Some of those storms, though, of course, because of the instability that's nearby, we're going to look for that slight chance for showers increasing as we get into the middle of the week tomorrow, Thursday, and into Friday. Right now, the temperatures are definitely heating up. It's already 78 degrees in Pasadena, 85 in Woodland Hills, 80 in Corona, 80 in Riverside, 98 Palm Springs. We are getting that flow out of the south and southeast. So we're adding a little humidity into the mix, and so therefore it actually feels warmer than what the thermometer is actually saying. 74 degrees in Big Bear, even up in the mountains near 6,500 feet. We are looking at that heat advisory. High pressure is still in control of our weather, and it's going to stay put really across the west, the southwest, and even the country's midsection with some really hot summer temperatures. We're going to look for these shower chances, as I said, over the mountains and deserts, and also some high surf. We're watching these weather systems, these tropical systems in the Pacific that's generating some higher surf for us, especially south-facing beaches. I do want to give you the warnings about the heat risk and how it will be a major heat risk for heat-related illnesses as we move forward, and that's why we have these heat alerts in place through at least Monday of next week. So you really want to plan accordingly as you plan ahead to the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. 98 for the high desert today, 108 in Palm Springs and the low desert areas, 80 eventually up into the mountains in Big Bear. As we look at downtown LA today, 88 could get up to the low 90s again like it did yesterday, but bottom line is going to be hot. 100 in the valleys and the Inland Empire to the upper 70s along the coast. We do have the high surf, as I said. I'll go over the rest of the weather alerts in just a few moments. In the meantime, Let's talk about traffic. Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by My Home Sold, and it is improving significantly, as it does typically this hour. Here's one of our live traffic cameras. This is the Riverside Freeway, the 60, and the eastbound side here, the cars actually on this side coming at you. This is at Country Village Road, both sides of the 60 freeway. Looking really good at this hour. Here are the drive times in and out of downtown LA. Westbound 10 between the 5 to the 405, still a little on the slower side, 34 minutes. On that north 110 between the 405 to the 10, 23 minutes. That has improved a lot. On that west 60 between the 57 to the 5, under 30 minutes now. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
Hi, I'm Adrian with My Home Sold, and we want to buy your house. We buy any house in any condition. No commissions, no closing costs, and no repairs. Go to myhomesold.com for a free same-day cash offer. That's myhomesold.com.
The new superintendent of the LA Unified School District just finished delivering his opening of the school's address.
That's right. Let's go out to Gigi Gracia, who is in the middle of it all in East LA. Good morning, Gigi.
Good morning. We're outside the auditorium here at Garfield High School. You can see the folks, primarily administrators and LA Unified School District personnel. The energy extremely high to welcome Andres Chait, officially LA Unified School District's new superintendent, welcoming the community back for the 2026-2027 school year. The superintendent talking about the many challenges saying it is a time, basically, of rebuilding and renewal, a chance to continue the progress the school district has made. Chait, who's been with the district for almost 3 decades, faces the same challenges the former superintendent Alberto Carvalho did, basically declining enrollment and budget deficits. But again, optimism is high today for the new school year.
This reflects 3 straight years of sustaining year-over-year growth across all 3 subjects. These early results reflect not only overall progress, but accelerated gains among historically underserved student groups, who are narrowing achievement gaps and, frankly, outpacing district-wide rates of improvement.
Now, off camera, we spoke to a lot of LA Unified School District employees today, and they feel very optimistic. It's been a troubling time at LA Unified, the nation's 2nd largest school district in the country. You had the abrupt resignation of its superintendent, Alberto Carvalho, now under federal investigation in connection to an AI contract that the school district had with a company that also abruptly went out of business. Its leader ended up in prison, and a lot of federal investigations there. Carvalho resigned. Chait was named the interim superintendent, now the permanent superintendent, and he says he's looking forward. One of the things he said over and over again, he knows that the real work of the school district is done not on Beaudry and the administrative offices, but in each and every school. And this man knows about schools because he started his career with LA Unified as a kindergarten teacher. Now, coming up, we're going to be speaking to the new superintendent, and we're going to be listening, really, learning more about his plans for the district. Reporting live at Garfield High School, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you.
Feel the pressure on my back will stop.
Sandra, your jams.
I am. I know. I love this stuff. That was Inland Empire Breakout Wrecking Crew, Big A, Chuck IE, who's playing at Vans Warped Tour this weekend. And if that harder than hardcore music had you working up an appetite, you're in luck.
You sure are. Long Beach Favorite is serving up deals inspired by the group, and it's just one of the dozens of affordable collaborations connecting music fans with local restaurants.
Coco McAvoy live at Sonora Town to check out their mini burritos and much more. Hi there, Coco.
Good morning. I have to say, I am loving these music intros. It's really getting me even more excited about Vans Warped Tour coming back to Long Beach this weekend with a really amazing collab, by the way, with Long Beach Food Scene Week. And so that's really highlighting a lot of the great restaurants here, including Sonora Town, which is legendary. I am here with Tio and Jennifer, who are co-owners. So tell us about Sonora Town.
Yeah, we're a taqueria that's based on the food from my hometown in Sonora, Mexico. We cook everything over mesquite grill, so it all has like a really beautiful smoky flavor, and we make our own flour tortillas that we serve the tacos in. And yeah, we have 3 locations in LA County. Yep.
I love that. You've got to check them out. And Jennifer, tell us about the menu items that you did for Vans Warped Tour.
Yeah, our best location by far is our Long Beach location, and so we're really happy to invite everyone to try these new burritos that we have on the menu. It's a collaboration with Big Ass Truck, IE. The first burrito that we're serving is the Big Tico, and that's green salsa, and then Anaheim chilies, also beans and cheese, simple, comforting, delicious. Second burrito that we're doing is called the Big Jack, and that has mesquite grilled carne asada. It's got avocado salsa, super spicy red salsa, cabbage in there, 2 cheese, beans, super good. So we invite you guys to come over and try out what we're doing over here because it tastes great.
It does taste great. Thank you so much, Tio and Jennifer. I want to get over here now to Brian, well-known food writer. Tell us about Long Beach Food Scene Week.
Yes, it's my annual restaurant week. We have over 100 restaurants participating this year, and it's always been about culinary flexing, not necessarily like coupons or discounts. So when Janet, my partner in this, thank you so much, she's the best, for Vans Warped Tour, approached me, Their mission is all about accessibility and affordability, so we decided to uplift local Long Beach businesses, connect them with some of the biggest names in music, and have everything under $15. So everything being offered across the 21 restaurants is $15 or under, and it's just a great segue into Long Beach Food Scene Week.
Definitely a great segue, and we're so honored to talk to Kevin as well, founder of Vans Warped Tour. Talk about this collaboration.
I don't know. I just keep looking at those burritos and trying to figure out who I have to wrestle for one once we're done talking. I mean, we've been sitting here, but it's been wonderful, and you know, it's embracing the community in so many ways, and it carries over to our shows because we insist on all our food vendors to have something under $15 at a festival for people too. But we'll be here this week, second time in Long Beach. It's wonderful to be in this city. It's so nice to see the rebirth of Long Beach in so many ways. I started here in the punk rock clubs of Long Beach, and it was kind of a tough town. It was a rough town, Port City kind of thing, and now the vibe's so cool. So if we can bring it here with our film festival over at the Art Theater this week, all these 21 restaurants with collabing with our bands, and the bands are, a lot of them are more excited about doing their food collab than I think being on that stage. But we'll have 150 bands, and it should be a wonderful weekend in Long Beach.
I love that, and people can still get tickets.
Yes, we still have single-day tickets available as well as two-day passes.
Love that. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, Brian. Shout out again to Sonora Town. I'm telling you, they get so many accolades for really, really good reason. Look at how delicious this food looks. Come and enjoy this. These exclusive items, of course, for Vans Warped Tour, but they've got good food year-round as well. So come and support them. Thank you so much, Tio and Jennifer as well. I will send it back to you.
Dig in. Looks like a fun spot. By the way, I love your necklace. It's beautiful. I meant to tell you earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so last hour we asked all of you the best food city in the U.S. Here are the results still. Los Angeles coming in with 41%, followed by New York and then New Orleans. But again, I feel as though since we're in Los Angeles, we're taking the poll here. I'm not surprised, but we do have great food here.
We do. All right. Chicago does have good food too.
Tell them.
2%. Houston, 2%. Okay. We'll be right back.
some of our top stories this morning. The 405 freeway in Hawthorne was closed for about 3 hours after a deadly incident involving a wrong-way driver. The driver was speeding southbound at 80 miles per hour when the black sedan slammed into several other northbound vehicles near Rosecrans Avenue. One person died at the scene.
A preliminary hearing happening in downtown LA for singer David. A judge will decide if there is enough evidence to send the artist, whose real name is David Burke, to trial for murder. Burke accused of killing 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez and dismembering her body. He has pled not guilty. No cameras are allowed in court.
Social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate are fighting extradition to the United Kingdom. According to prosecutors in Britain, these latest charges include rape, assault, and trafficking. They all stem from allegations relating to 4 victims. The 2 were arrested Saturday in Miami, and the Tate's lawyers suggest their arrest is politically motivated.
All right, weather-wise, Good Day LA weather is brought to you by the Razavi Law Group. A live look outside right now. This is our, I believe, so Manhattan Beach. You're trying to trick me. Manhattan Beach pier right now. We've got blue skies, a little hazy, not much of a wind as you can see, so a very weak sea breeze if you're headed to the coast to try to get some relief from that heat inland. It's going to be pretty warm on the sand as well, nearing 80 degrees. Where are we compared to 24 hours ago? It is 4 degrees warmer right now than it was yesterday at this time in Big Bear. Same for Torrance, a couple of degrees warmer in Fullerton, and 2 degrees warmer in Burbank right now than it was yesterday. I am watching a few storms. It is hurricane season, and we have our second named storm, Tropical Storm Bertha, with winds of 60 miles an hour, bringing a lot of rain across the Gulf, and it is expected to cross over Louisiana, eventually making its way, a much weaker storm by that time, into Texas, but it is bringing quite a bit of rain to that area of our nation. Tropical storm, or rather post-tropical Elita, what's left of that tropical storm anyway, sending moisture up into northern central California. I'm interested in Hurricane Fausto. It has strengthened, winds of 75 miles an hour. It's currently about let's see, just southwest of the Baja Peninsula in Cabo, about 750 miles. It is going to continue to move northwest, and it looks like it's going to get pretty close to the Hawaiian Islands as we get into the latter part of this weekend, so we're going to watch that carefully. It is also sending some swells our way, so we're going to continue to see some waves nearing 4 to 8 feet for some of our south-facing beaches particularly. So that's why that high surf advisory is in effect. Temperatures ranging from triple digits inland, like Indio, 109 today. 82, not too hot in Inglewood. 103 in Bakersfield, though. 102 in Fresno, to that 101 in Sacramento. Here is our temperature trend. Getting into the low 90s today in Ontario. Look at the triple digits. You want to hang on to that heat, really, as we get to the weekend. So really hot, posing heat stress, certainly on our bodies. As you plan ahead to this weekend and the end of the week, please limit your physical activity outdoors. Pasadena, 90 today, 91 tomorrow, getting up to nearly triple digits by Thursday, Friday into Saturday. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. A tense confrontation at San Francisco International Airport has now prompted an internal investigation at United Airlines. A family trying to fix a ticketing error says an employee became frustrated and suggested calling immigration authorities on them.
Maybe we should call ICE on you. You're going to call ICE on me? Oh, say that again? Say that again? Maybe you need to be, because you don't act like a citizen. Get away.
For her to say that in her place of employment is completely shocking and degrading and dehumanizing and intimidating.
Passenger Julio Varela says that viral exchange happened earlier this month when his family was flying out of SFO to Montreal, Canada. Varela, who is a naturalized citizen, says there was a mistake on his daughter's ticket and his family was trying to get it resolved at the United Airlines and Air Canada desks. Varela says he started recording as the confrontation escalated. Our sister station KTVU spoke to an immigration attorney who said there may be grounds for a civil rights lawsuit.
If a person is being profiled based on their appearance, their race, ethnicity, national origin, without anything more, would be a violation of a person's civil rights.
And the funny thing is, with United, I think I don't know if their slogan is, we we fly the friendly skies or something like that. My first thought when I saw that was, well, unless you're Mexican, because they're not going to be too friendly to you. For her to have the gall to say that to my face when I'm recording her, that tells me it's not the first time she says it.
Varela says United did apologize for the incident, and the airline released a statement saying they are looking into the interaction.
The Trump administration lawsuit against California public schools could end up in sharp tuition hikes for thousands of students who are interested in attending college. The administration is going after undocumented students because their tuition is based on in-state residency. They're also allowed to apply for financial aid. Now, if the suit is successful, it could end up costing students 10 times more for community college and nearly 4 times as much to attend a UC school. A federal judge in Sacramento expected to rule any day on whether the case can proceed. In 2022, about 62,000 undocumented students benefited from in-state tuition at community colleges. A report to the Assembly Committee on Higher Education said while another 10,000 attended a California State University, 4,000 were enrolled at UC campuses.
Trump's Justice Department is also targeting UC San Diego's medical school. The DOJ says it illegally favored Black and Latino students in its admission process, violating federal law. Officials allege the school used hardship questions to prioritize race, disadvantaging white and Asian applicants. The university denies wrongdoing but is reviewing the findings, and this is part of a broader investigation into race-based admissions, with universities like UCLA and Stanford also facing scrutiny. The Justice Department warns of potential lawsuits if practices don't change.
An Inland Empire city turned to AI to help detect wildfire threats. Rancho Cucamonga just installed the so-called Firebird system to give firefighters an early warning. The AI-assisted system can detect fires as small as 10 square feet from 100 yards away. The city's fire chief says the system can also provide pictures of the flames, its location, and a weather report within seconds to 911. Dispatchers and said that it could actually shave minutes off wildfire response times, which can make a big difference. The Press Enterprise reports 30 of the Firebird devices installed along the base of San Gabriel Mountains went live yesterday. Developing this morning, the FDA is walking back claims that the lettuce sample from California-based Taylor Farms tested positive for cyclospora. Officials are now saying that it was a false positive, but they haven't cleared Taylor Farms as the likely source of the outbreak. Christy Fajardo has the story.
Question of a mistake and an apology is what Taylor Farms says it got from the FDA over the weekend. The agency now says it retested and reviewed an iceberg lettuce sample from a farm in central Mexico it had linked to a cyclopsoriasis outbreak and realized the earlier test had produced a false positive. Even so, the company, which voluntarily recalled lettuce from the region, is not abandoning the recall.
The FDA did report that there was a false positive over the weekend, but this afternoon they said that they're standing firmly by this recall because public health safety is built on actually 2 things. We want to make sure that there's real-world detective work as well as lab data.
The chlorospora parasite is believed to have sickened thousands of people across the country, with states like Michigan being the hardest hit. The FDA says it has likely linked the outbreak to Taylor Farms shredded lettuce used at Taco Bell's in 5 states and still believes the source could have come from central Mexico, adding that the agency continues to work with Taylor Farms to find the root of the outbreak and get possible contaminated products off the market, and is recommending restaurants and consumers check Taylor Farms produce sold at Walmart under the MarketSide brand to make sure they are not part of the recall.
We have a lot of control on the produce that we are buying and how we are washing our produce. So I would say stay away from, again, shredded lettuce, snap peas, raspberries, green onions, and basically any untreated water as well.
The parasitic infection is not generally considered fatal, but can cause what's described as explosive diarrhea, which can lead to hospitalization. The FDA